Too cool for school. That was a line from Samuel L. Jackson, y'all.
JackieRay.com.
Good evening and welcome to the Poetry of Justice Show with Jackie Ray Phillips here on YikesRadio.com. Now you all know that on the Poetry of Justice Show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, leaving our listeners thinking and saying in unison, yikes! And of course, those are the sultry sounds of none other than the Mr. Kevin Nash. And I love to call Mr. Kevin Nash my mentor. And I'm proud to be able to say that. And so, Accelerated Radio and Yikes Radio is the brainchild of Mr. Kevin Nash. And Yikes Radio is celebrating its 2-year anniversary in existence. And we on the Poetry of Justice Show is the first show to air on this network. Woo!
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm super jazzed, but I just want to give shout out and all love to Mr. Kevin Nash for doing what it is he does, because what he does allows individuals like myself to get to do the stuff that I like to do, which is, I didn't even know it to be a podcast journalist, but somebody told me I guess I wanted to be a podcast journalist. I guess it's pretty good nothing. So I'm a little off score tonight, and it's okay, because this is our 2-year anniversary show, and we got a double exciting time here, because we're now transitioning to a 2-hour show, guys. So we're gonna be here tonight. Oh, now y'all gonna be like, Lord Jesus, you guys got a whole nother 60 minutes.
60 minutes to be ratchet.
Oh, exactly. So we've been like toggling the idea about the second half of the show being more of an after dark thing. Now also, guys, I have in the studio, I have Miss Lori Ray Fisher of Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company. How are you tonight, Lori?
I am excited and great. Happy to celebrate 2 years.
So what does that mean to you,
Radio.
Lori G? I mean, because you've been rolling pretty tough.
Yeah.
Straight tough, not pretty tough. So what, no, seriously, what does that mean to you, though? Low key, straight real.
It means to me just excitement and
Yeah.
joy and
Yeah.
growth and advancement and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been
I
a
like that.
vision. It's always wonderful when you're able to see a spark grow into a vision that grows into something that's realized and that grows into something that God has touched and is blossoming. I mean, you are on your way. The POJ Show, Yikes Radio, and it has
Yeah.
truly been a blessing and a wonderful experience to be a part of that group.
Aw, that's a pretty girl. Frida, with all due respect, I'm going to have Miss Shelley C come up to the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my God, yeah.
Because multitude of reasons, and I'll get into them individually because we got time. Usually I'm like, I gotta get all this in 60 freaking minutes. But now I'm like,
Now,
oh, shucks, I can,
Not tonight, it's
I can
120
kick that.
now.
You feel me? But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who don't know, Shelley, see, I want you to turn around because you know we're airing now on YouTube, so I don't want anybody to miss out on that beautiful face, though. You know, you already got my boys in Compton, and you know, they pulling me over yesterday, Thursday. Where's she at? Where's she
That
at?
seems to be the city for me. That seems to be the city for me. Just saying, my history.
But this one here is my dog. Not this by me, the DAWG. My dog. Not my dog,
That's
DOG.
my
This is my
dog.
dog right here. She's you can't let anybody in your circle. You can't just roll with everybody. You all know that. And I met this beautiful woman, shucks, about 30 years ago now. And we met through marital connections.
Marital connections.
And divorces occurred, aftermath, and so forth. But the friendship and the bond that Shelley C has with myself and my sister is 3 decades. And
It's
so,
never changed. It's never changed.
no, she's never changed.
Wow.
Shelley, the type of individual you could tell her, this one here,
It's Fort Knox. If you give it to her,
it ain't going nowhere.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going nowhere. She look you dead. So if you going to commit a crime, people,
Shelly.
You go for
Is
it.
this the one?
this
No,
one
this
right
the
here,
part-
Not that one.
You the P, what is PIC?
she ain't gonna say nothing. She will be tortured on your behalf and will take that
You'll
torture.
be missing all my teeth.
Oh
But
With
I'm
pride.
not giving up shit.
She be like, bitch, I ain't got no teeth.
I don't have no shit.
Effing with you.
My
What you
tongue is
about?
But you
tied.
was true blue.
Exactly.
I love you, dog, so much. And so we're gonna get into more like grit and grime later, but I just wanted to let everybody know Shelly C's and how Shelly C is a member of the chat. But fuck it, we ain't got, I'm so used to being pressed, God, yeah, with the cousin. Okay, the chat.
The chat.
Do you remember, do you remember the first time you heard the word, the chat, and how it would apply to Poetry of Justice?
I said, yes, that will work. The four of us and the four different personalities that we have is amazing. We don't hold back. We show our true self. And that's what this show, the chat show is about. And that's what I love. There's four different personalities. There's four different views. And we're going to keep it real. That's what we do at the chat. Keeping it real. I think that's going to be our motto. The chat and keeping it real.
That's right.
Yeah.
We don't hold back. We don't hold back. It is what it is.
Yikes, radio.com.
Yikes! Even if it's yikes, it is what it is.
But we're gonna have more stories, Shelly C, because I'm gonna have you guys to explain to Miss Frida Ross when it's time for us to like delve deeper into how this all began and so forth.
Mhm.
We need to describe the first radio station
Wow.
we started in.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need
I
to
remember the
describe.
first day we arrived.
I do.
But
It's
the thing
different.
about it is just how we happy today. Like,
We were happy there.
we was happy
Yes,
as a
yes,
fuck.
yes. God is good.
When you look back on pictures, I was like, yikes, radio, what the? No disrespect, but you gotta look, everybody gotta have a dream. You gotta
Everyone
start
has a dream.
somewhere.
That's what I said. You cultivate it and you shape it and you approach it with optimism and you just keep moving forward.
There are so many facets to the Poetry of Justice show. And we're gonna have a slew of people coming later, because you know, colored people. And they my kids.
But I see you got 2 hours,
so you know. Anyway, but we've got the lovely Willie Gonzalez is on the phones, and so, oh, let me give out the phone number, guys. We got area code 310-910-9431, and again, that's area code 310-910-9431. If you wanna call into the station and talk with us, because we're gonna have a really great time. So, next on the docket is Miss Frida Ross. But this is the thing where I was going is, there have been a large number, I like for us to be able to say, ladies, of individuals who have come to the show and visited and so on and so forth. It wasn't until, I think the first time you came as a guest on the show was possibly, I want to say like August, or was it September?
Somewhere back
October.
then, you know, 50s.
I know for sure
go back.
November you came back, but I think
Yeah.
you did an original show earlier on, and
Yeah.
I think you came back. Hey, show,
Right, a
put your
few
headphones
months
on.
later.
To do another show, but I've known Miss Frida Ross since I was 3 years old, that I can
Man.
count back to, because there was something that was called the Dickinson Lighted School.
Dickinson Lighted School.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to my mother.
With
Yes.
the spine. Yes.
Juanita Ray, and my daddy, Luther
That's right.
W. Ray, and of course I'll give a shout out, of course, to the Zaritas
The
family.
Zarita family.
The
Right.
Zarita, Miss Dolores Zarita,
Mhm.
and the
Dickinson
entire
Lighted School.
Dickinson Lighted School. And
Yeah.
most of our siblings, you know, was older than us. Well, like my sisters, we way older than us, but we the little kids, if you had like an older brother or sister than the little kids, we went to these little trailers. And remember, we would do our little arts and crafts and colors. So I can remember that, and I know my mama told me that was 3, because when I got in school, I was 4. I can't tell what kind of crimes we committed to get me in school early, but anyway. Point of the matter is, 3 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
So Free, we talking about almost like 5 decades
Literally.
of knowing one another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Frida was my best, and I'm not even bull jiving, my best friend as a little girl. We would
Okay.
play together every single day. Don't you remember Frida being my best friend?
I
Lauren?
remember Frida being your best friend.
Yes, she did. And so, yes, and so we would play together every day. We would,
We ride. We ride.
we would do our hopscotch together. Hopscotch was like,
huge.
yes, we would get major, and we would have our own little thingies and our own little lucky leggers, and it was just the bee's knees. And
It was.
time just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. And then life happened to a lot of us, both of us, any of us, all of us, and then at the end of the day, you're here now. And you've been an absolute joy to be with, and because, and I'll just be, be transparent. And I don't know if this is a is thing or it's the female thing, ladies. We all know that women can be very catty.
That's true.
That's true.
People in general, it's not always just females, because I deal with some men and they're sometimes cattier than some of the females I've dealt with. So
Right.
it's just human behavior perhaps, but that's our mental health show maybe.
Yeah.
On July 6th.
I got it.
But, just kind of knowing that you have somebody. My sissy is my everything. I mean, she's my rock. There's no words. She literally saved me from a snake pit.
I get it.
Literally. Saved me from a snake pit. And she said, I can't leave my little sissy there.
Never, ever.
And she got me out of there.
Yep.
And she
My
took
job
me,
was-
and she's always held me up. And never lets me fall.
No, that's what big sisters do.
Some big sisters don't do that.
Mine does.
Yours does.
And they
Shout out
are
to
a
Emma.
blessing. You are a blessing, Lori, and I
Thank you.
know mine is. Yes. Mhm.
I'm so proud of you, little sister.
Well, thank you, sissy. Like, you know what? And everybody from Compton in our area, you all know, whoever's out there in the land that's really listening, do what you're supposed to do. Derek Williams, where are you? But anyway, what I was going to say is, it was a big deal. Wanting to be Lori Ray. Being Lori Ray, 80,
Wow.
81, 82, it was a big fucking deal. So you could, it is what it is. And so, it was hard to live up to my sister's standard. Because I didn't have an A. I was Lori
Yes, you
Ray's
did.
little
You were
sister.
Lori Ray's
Lori
little
Ray's
sister.
little sister. So it wasn't Jackie, it was Lori Ray's little sister. So, point of the matter is, Frida that was my friend, outside of my sister, right? Lori Ray's little sister. And so Frida and I are back together again, and all
Yes.
things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And I know God has a plan for us and this show and everything that we are doing now and will continue to do. But I just wanted to say thank you for being a part of the Poetry of Justice show. And so when you first saw JackieRay doing the Poetry of Justice show, whatever that was for you, Frida, can you describe what that was like for you?
Wow. Not a lot. Boy, yeah, going back to that date and coming on to the show and first let me just say, I was sharing with Shelly earlier while we were outside how this is just a dynamic, thing that's been brought together. Us, again, I was telling her how, 20 some odd years ago, I was living and working in Colorado Springs, and Jackie, I was doing credit cards, some of it was collection, some of it was helping people with their credit cards, and Jackie called my phone. Wow. Yeah.
American
I didn't
Express,
know
remember
that.
back in the day when we
Did you
had
know
with the sign in trouble jazz? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember she sent me a
Yes.
picture of the baby, that was the
Uh-huh.
first baby, all the way to Colorado
And
Springs.
she said Frida Ross, I said no.
Yeah.
There's
After
only one.
There's only
after
one.
20 years of not
Exactly.
having any contact, right? And then we get through that, and then I moved back to California in 2005, and then we connect again,
Amazing.
having to do with the job,
Mhm.
working with people. She was wanting to work in the
And she was
field.
true, people always say they gonna help you out or do something, no, her word is straight bond.
Yeah. So some years then
Nothing
went by.
might change.
Yeah, right?
God has a plan.
So that was, I'd say, 2007, 2008 maybe.
Yes.
And then here we are, 2018,
Yeah.
got the call, come on to the show, So I'm feeling that, this is something that's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that man up there, he's got his hands all
Oh,
over
man.
this, you know what I mean? This connection, for whatever reason, I'm just glad to be here to watch it come into fruition. But the show, I just thought was absolutely phenomenal. I just thought that, cause it took me some time, I had to put together, where, the arts and the poetic justice, how that meets and how she's brought that together, and I had to think about that because initially, I didn't get it, right? but she brought it all and made it real clear. And so to watch this thing just grow, just in the short amount of time that I've been coming and we helping you out and stuff like that and being on the show, it's just amazing. The growth, it's amazing, you know, to genuinely feel good about something.
Yes.
And Frida, I want you to know that you have definitely been an enhancement to the show.
Oh, thank
You bring such a wonderful perspective, a vibrant personality, and the willingness. I think what's really important, just in my opinion, who am I? But I think it's really important when you're discussing topics and you're learning new things, that you approach that with a very open mind.
Yeah.
And that you have the ability to defer, to say, hey, I started this conversation thinking one thing, but after this roundtable discussion, I have to say, I've changed my perspective.
Right.
And that's monumental sometimes for individuals.
Yeah.
That they tend to dig in their heels, and if this is the platform of which I've started, that's going to be the platform on which I end. So you have been a joy to work with and to watch, and I'm just so overjoyed that you're here to help my sister and to add value.
Thank you. I love it. And she knows, as long as it's about helping people and informing and imparting wisdom.
Amazing.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Even on the days that we bullshitting up in here, laughing and joking, you know what I'm saying? There's still a message being carried.
Behind it.
And
Absolutely. And every message that needs to be heard shouldn't just be lectured.
no.
You know, I think it has to have joy and laughter
Fun.
and sadness and all of those things, because they're the topics that the POJ show covers are humanistic topics.
They are.
They're humanistic problems. They're humanistic joys. And to bring that out in a very natural and real way, I think is wonderful.
Yeah. So,
We aim to please here at the Poetry Justice Show.
yeah.
Well, I understand that Ms. Ross, we're gonna, with everybody on the panel.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna switch roles a little bit. So should I move or should we?
I think we're all just good, right? We all gotta get in this, dig in, right? So I thought with the progress that has been happening and continues to happen, that the show, especially going to a 2-hour show, in light of some of the information that we've received on, you know, while being on air. You remember when the guy called in and he gave that awesome prophecy, right? And just in short order, things just started revealing themselves, right? I thought that we would kind of move in that vein tonight,
Okay.
right? So we're interviewing the poets,
Oh, JackieRadio.com, Lori G.
right?
Africa's
Africa's calling.
Lori is
Africa is
tearing up
calling.
that on
Lori
on Facebook,
is-
y'all. They just
You're
tearing
big.
it down.
Nigeria is just overwhelmed that Lori G has arrived on Facebook. And you know, before we start, I just want to say, Facebook, what's his name? Zuckerman?
Yeah,
You really need to change that messenger feature. You
Just,
should not
just call Object. Just
call people from
Your phone, yes.
Nigeria,
Yeah.
from somebody's phone.
Or
I do
Slovenia.
not
How about
know
Slovenia?
Marshall Chucks, I don't know you.
Right,
Who
right.
does that? Who calls you without texting you?
yeah, he's calling you again.
Yes, constantly.
You know,
Slovenia.
that ring is really strange to me, and it's really funny, but it's something about that ring, even when I know the person that's calling, it's something about that ring that just won't allow me to answer. It's weird. I don't wanna talk on Facebook like that.
Just too much.
It's too much.
I don't want to talk
Too
to.
much.
I don't want to talk to someone I don't.
No.
And like, what makes you think I'm even gonna frickin'
I
talk
mean,
to you?
give me
Right.
if you're listening. Give me the courtesy of a message. Send me a message. Hey, Lori, I'd like to chat with you. And then
Something.
allow me to
And a
say,
reason
oh yeah,
why.
I'd like to chat with you
And
as well.
please take into consideration the time.
Right?
If it's
Girl.
6 a.m. in the United States, don't call me from Slovenia at 5 a.m. Really?
Or 3:30 a.m.
I'm just saying. I'm
Wow.
just saying.
Cause you act a fool,
I'm sorry.
before 8 o'clock.
No.
Before
I
8
didn't.
o'clock, you guys, you go ahead and cuss down. Cuss
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, and then
Really?
blocked, and then blocked.
And then blocked.
Yeah, I know how you roll.
I just learned how to block people, and then when I learned it, then I thought, don't block them. The Lord prepared the table before me.
Press thy enemy.
Not at
I'm
4
gonna let 'em
o'clock in
watch
the morning.
me.
Who is that? When I say word, that's your mama. My mama be like, Jack, let them see what you're doing.
I love it. All right, you guys.
Jack.
See, this show, it has a mind of its own, doesn't it? It's awesome. So, Jackie, everybody knows our history now, right?
But just in case, we got new listeners, a whole new get down.
Yeah, we do,
Wait, check
right?
the door for me, mama. Are you talking to somebody on the phone? Not on the phone, because you know the lovely Whitley, she's our producer.
What happened?
So she's always telemarketing. We've got guests, we've got people.
Mm-hmm. And when we
it's
just the host
I get to
tonight.
breathe. Like I'm so like, looking at the clock, feeling like this.
No, we're good.
We got time, boo. We got time.
It's crazy, right? Exhale. JackieRay.com.
Beautiful.
Hey, Smee.
Hey,
girl.
How are you doing?
Hey, sweetie. Good to see you. How are you?
Hey, love. Tell Dominique. How you?
This is POJ Show.
I've got Jay Jones in his ass.
How you doing?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating your mom.
We are.
Yes, we are.
I came here to celebrate.
The babies are here. Well, they're not babies.
I
But the
know.
babies are
What are we
here.
talking about today?
Well, we're interviewing.
We're kind of reminiscing a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
We
That
don't
sounds
went
good.
way
What's your
back.
favorite show? What's your favorite show you ever did?
Out of
Not
all the ones
that
we
far
done,
yet, mama.
Okay, let's get this party started.
All right, so I'm just gonna give you my first question that I have for you. We already did our intro. Everybody knows about our relationship.
Okay.
It goes back like
Yeah,
100
yeah.
years.
Okay,
It's
okay.
steps. First thing that I wanted to ask you, Jackie, was the POJ Show. Where did you get this baby from? Where did this come from for you? You know what I'm saying? What happened? What day did you wake up and say, I'm gonna do this?
Okay, so after we did Ginger United, Ginger Productions is always the first thing in my head. Ginger Productions, an entertainment company, produced the Blue Star in the city of Compton. So we did a little advertising, we did a radio show at Click, KLIQ Radio. So the entire cast went down and did a show at KLIQ. So then subsequently, we did the show, did a weekend run. And after the show, I heard from the owner of KLIQ. He said he would like to talk to me. I'm like, oh, okay. So he asked to talk to me, so I contacted him. And then he shared with me that, about his radio station, and if I was interested in doing the show. You know, he's like, oh, you might be interested, I don't know, but would you be interested in doing the show? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, right. Anyway, I went home, went about my life, or whatever. And then, I prayed about it. I asked God about it. And then one day, God was like, do it. And then I'm like, well, what would I do? And I know what I love poetry. I'm kind of away from it a little bit, I feel like, but it's always in you, And so at the time at that point I had already published my book, The Poetish Reigns. And so I loved poetry, but my passion is criminology, crime, murder, killing, the psychotic brain, the sick, and how do we operate.
Right.
That's the me.
That's right.
And it's all right.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to know what about that part of me made me be what I am and control it now, but what I am. Why do I think what I think and feel what I feel, and that beast that you have to control, or not, but I chose to control. Ladies and gentlemen, we got more guests. Praise be to God.
Hey.
There was once a time we're gonna talk about when I used to sit and be so stressed out, pulling hair out, low key almost. To come to this show and look at God.
Right.
So what's up, Marcus? This is my nephew Marcus in the house, and I got another handsome brother. What's your name, my king?
My name is Dre. How you doing? Josie Summers. How you doing? My name is
Uh-oh, Marcus. Okay.
Marcus got
You
one.
want to see it in my seat?
Anyway, guys, we just
Gotta get out to your seat.
Marcus wants you here, though, so come on.
So we'll get, all right, you'll get the door.
The girls are
That's
on the
listen out for the door.
I'm on the door. Marcus got you covered like a blood.
All right, Marcus, you're door duty.
Okay. Anyway, so Frida, criminal justice is my passion. And so I went to school later in life to pursue my degree in criminal justice, which I did attain. And I started working in the field, but I found it to be dangerous. And I can explain some of that later, you know, but to answer the original question. And so I felt like, wow, I'm paying back these student loans on a degree that I'm not using. You know what I'm saying? And I liked going into the prisons and helping people prepare for their exodus. Making sure they had some place to go. That gave me life. That was my fire. They got dangerous. Fuck it, I'm gonna say that because some men whose paths I've crossed could not keep their hands and penises to themselves. So it became, am I gonna pursue this career that can cost me being raped or maimed or killed? Because one dude told me, and I said, well, I got the Holy Spirit with me. He looked me straight in my face and said, let me tell you something, you're gonna need more than the Holy Spirit when these niggas get a hold of you up in here. That's all it took for my black ass. Deuces, Chico.
Right?
In terms of up in the cut. I mean, I'm up in the cut, nigga. I'm in the cut. I'm in the day room. Who's next? Come on, because I love that shit. I love gangster shit. I'm sorry, that's just who I am.
Hey.
What I am. So I love that shit, but I couldn't do that shit because that shit was gonna cost me my life. And then I left there and then I went to another job, right? Skid Row.
My favorite
That's my
place.
shit too, though. That's my shit, right? And I'm helping the homeless, and you on the ground because people talk that talk. People talk the talk all mother stinking day, but I want to see you on the ground, soldier, 10 toes, every day. Every day I did that shit for 2 years, worked for the homeless. Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. And I would take, almost like my sister, she'd take a plane, train, and an automobile to get to her job. I took a car,
Plane train.
train, and a bus jigger, and a mock
train.
to get to where I was going every morning. And
Right.
yes, I walked over drug addicts,
Yeah.
pills. Just 6:30 in the morning, I'm hustling on the ground, what's on my back hurt now, just grinding that shit. I'm going to make a difference in this world. And the other thing is, people that look like me don't usually do what I do.
That's
Because
right.
since I was a little bitty girl, people didn't like me, guys.
Hmm.
And the first time I knew that my looks could get me killed was in 7th grade. Davis Junior High School. I've been safe all my little time. Dickinson Lighty School, my
Right.
mama, my daddy, Miss Zarita, the Father family, the Ross family.
Wow,
Amazing.
All praise be to your mama over there, businesswoman in one of the toughest neighborhoods in Compton. Holding that shit down, your mama did. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I realized that that's my work and that's my passion. But this little female, she came up to me, I'm at Davis, and I'm just sitting there minding my business, y'all. She walked up to me and tells me, I'm gonna kick your ass because you think you cute because you got pretty hair. Now, I'm like, who the fucking what? I don't even know what any of this means. What do you mean I got pretty hair? You gonna beat me up? Who the what?
You didn't just take off on her ass.
Well, you know my homie ass. You know my mama and them was homie
It
hair.
was time to take
Okay,
off.
hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all the story. So I'm sitting here like this. I'm gonna kick your ass after school. Cause you know, I was like, okay. They don't know, they didn't know. Okay. I think, well, maybe she playing. Maybe she playing. But I was prepared.
That
Walked
part.
out of Davis Junior High. Boom, you know the prison. Hold the fuck on. Why was that a prison? That is a prison. They was getting us conditioned. Y'all know that shit? We was getting conditioned for prison life. Because Davis Junior High School is a straight up prison. Me going to prisons and shit, that's a prison.
It's a box.
It's shaped like, so got your mind, getting your, what daddy say, he was getting your mind right. Anywho, I was at Davis the other day voting, so that's what brought this up to me, so. walking out Davis Junior High School. She was out there. I said,
Serious.
yeah. Well, my mama used to tell me as a kid, because, you know, she had worked the system. Don't hit nobody first. Because if you hit them first, then they're going to blame you. And then, so then she ain't going to be able to go down to the district and pull back. But if she's like, let them hit you first. Take the blow. And then commence to wailing on that fucking ass. And whatever you can pick up. And beat them upside their motherfucking head. Heck, if freaking that's what you do. So I let her hit me first. But I don't even know what kind of happened. I was just in the mix. Next thing I know, Anderson Brown had me like in a body lock. And then I didn't know what was what. And she looked distraught and her hair was everywhere. Anyway, at the end of the day, when they called my mom and my daddy down to the school, well now Papa, Anderson Brown, when Papa called my mom and them, my mom got mad at first. She was like, I can't believe you let my baby sit out here and fight. What's wrong with you? He was like, but Jackie Sue, man. What was Jackie Sue? Jackie Sue.
This is MS.
Okay.
So my mom said, why you let
This is
my mama
MS
baby out?
Davis,
He
DMS.
said, well, if she was getting beat up, I wouldn't have let her fight, but she was kicking her ass, so I just let her keep fighting.
In middle school.
But on the real tip, I had to realize, holy moly. But this is a little girl, 11 at the time, right? I'm 11 years old, and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Right.
I didn't say anything. I'm just sitting here putting on my Ken Rose walls that we just got from Kenny Schuster on Rosecrans, right? And I'm thinking, I'm cute, 'cause this is what we gotta have to change.
She said Ken Rose. You heard those?
How am I
Sound
gonna
like
say?
Tory Burch to me.
Right.
From Ken
What am
Rose.
I
That's
gonna
what I'm
do
saying.
to keep other people that don't look like me? Because that's when I realized maybe it was
Something
something
from
wrong with how I look. Because you're telling me because of my hair, because of how I look, you wanna fuck me up. So, does that mean everybody that look like me, that look like her, you gonna wanna fuck me up because of how, you see what I'm saying? And so it was really, so then I felt like, me and my sister jointly, because Lori taught me too, remember we decided to just kill people with kindness. We decided, well, you know what, because the common thing was, oh, you think you're cute, you stuck up, woody wop, so it's like, okay, well, maybe if I come, and that fucked me up, y'all, because I'm going through it. That's when my sister and I both, because remember that chick, that other chick, the same bullshit to you. We were like, well, let's be nice to these things. Maybe, right, this could work for us, right? But the fact that a little 11-year-old had to be concerned about getting jumped or beat up just simply because of how God made you,
Right.
was traumatizing. But that's kind of like where that energy, I think, kind of came from
Of course.
in that part. But I do and did have that instinct, but my parents were very strict, and we were always told we couldn't be caught up in any he say, she say, or talking about, you know what I mean? So self-defense and all of that kind of stuff. We've got to call everybody. Hello, and thank you for calling the Poetry of Justice Show.
Oh, we lost us.
What?
Hi.
Hi, darling.
She can call back.
Yeah, she'll go back.
Anyway, Free, so, Poetry of Justice Show. I love the poetry.
Yeah.
I love justice. Because justice, that's what the passion for justice, because I'm like, people like that need to be dealt with.
Yes.
And you can't just go around terrorizing people because of how people look. You know what I mean? And that's just really not cool, but that's just kind of what it was. And so that's when I think my passion for, like, I really would have to say my passion for justice.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there was a lot of injustices in our very own home, you know? And things that were just not right, I can't, you know what I mean? I have to, I feel like then and even now that I'm not muted anymore, it's something in me that burns, that I can't, I gotta be doing something. I gotta be doing something that's like helping someone else because it helps me. You know what I'm saying? It helps me. And so the Poetry of Justice Show, so when I go and I meet with the owner. Hey, caller. Hey. Good evening and thank you for calling the Poetry of Justice Show. Okay, well, thank you for calling. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Anywho,
Okay.
yeah, so moving on.
What was
So, he called me over and I was just thinking like, well, what do I want to talk about? And then I was thinking of poetry, I love poetry, and I like justice, right? Criminal justice in particular. And how can can you kind of put those together? But then I also like arts, because I'm an artistic person too, you know what I'm saying? But then social justice is, but at the end of the day, I remember when I first wrote, I had to write my first bio. And this is how green I was, I didn't know y'all. You be thinking, oh, you first kind of get into a little entertainment, games and stuff. You thinking, oh, well, somebody write my bio. Bitch, you gotta write it yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, I didn't know that, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I gotta write a bio. It was one of my first shows I was gonna be in, and I'm like, what the hell do I do? So I'm like, I wanna see one of the greats, who I feel is one of the greats, right? And one of the greats for me is none other than the late Miss Maya Angelou. So I want to see, what is Maya?
Classic.
Look up these
Regal.
What is Maya?
Right.
She's an amazing poet, that's her gift. She's an activist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dancer,
Right.
singer, her woman does
She
everything.
did it all.
I mean,
I see.
successful.
Cause I too know why I favorite person. That was in my mind, right?
Right.
So that's when I started writing this thing, right? I'm like, ooh, you know, I started creating this, me, right? And then I reverted back to that when I wrote that little bio for myself, and I'm like, the parts of that I already am, I am that. And the parts of her that I'm not yet, I will be that, but more. You understand what I'm saying? Cause I'm always wanna, boom, boom. And then that's when I'm like, okay, but then he was like, now tell him my feeling. He's like, yeah. And he goes, well, how about the poetic justice? And I'm like, everybody gonna think about Janet Jackson and Tupac,
R.I.P. John Singleton.
you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
And I'm like, no, I'm cool. And I didn't disrespect him, but I was like, I walked out living, and how God do what he always does with me. He woke me up in the middle of the night and came to me as clear as I can say my own name. The Poetry of Justice Show with JackieRay. So he gave it to me free.
And
I
here you
came
are.
to take the glory.
And here you are.
And I called him up and I was like, hey, Vontae, this is it. And he was like, cool. And then I figured, well, social consciousness is the arts, because I think all of us should have some sort of social consciousness, right? And then you meet the arts, and so people are artistic, and that's how people sometimes find their justice. That, because in my opinion, there are so many injustices, but particularly for people who look like us.
Sure.
So whatever that outlet is, if that's radio, dancing, prancing, theater, whatever that is, get it out of you, then get it out. You know what I mean? So that's why I thought about the theater,
It's gotta come out. Well, you certainly, answered the next question, I would say. I was gonna ask, like, how did your childhood experiences help to develop the love for poetry? You know what I mean?
You know what I also learned too? Yikesradio.com is, what I learned, Frida, and through psychology, poets usually develop later in life
Mm-hmm.
because of life's pains
Yes.
and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that poetry piece, I remember receiving it from the Lord, April 23rd, 2013.
Wow.
And I remember I would ask him, God, what's for me? I've sacrificed so much for so many and for so long, whether they knew it or not. Now I ask, what's for me?
Yeah.
I'm a loyal and faithful servant. I read your word. I go and I believe in you. What's for me? This can't be it. You can't just say enough. This don't coincide with your word.
Right.
There's gotta be more than this. Because other than that, take me now. Or I take myself. Because I don't like it. It woke me up about 2:32. There were spirits in my mother's house. Not all were good spirits. And that night before, I had just fought off a not good spirit. And commanded it out of my mother's home. And the next night, 2:32, I'm thinking, oh shit, that fucking spirit is back. Cause I could, you know, Lauren, you can feel it. Where he lived, it was a dude where he lived. You could feel it.
That was a spirit in Grammy House.
Cause that night before he told me, I got you now, you dirty, filthy bitch. And I rebuked him in the name of the Lord. And I remember my mama room and I'm praying, I got the Bible and I'm holy water, I'm just doing the whole get down, right?
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Next night, 2:32, I'm thinking, oh shit. You understand? He says, right. Right. All I can hear in my head, right. And I'm like, right what? And he said, get your iPad. I mean, when I'm telling you this is in my head, it's coming to me literally like that. Get your iPad. That's the only thing I have with me. I have my iPad because I've been watching TV. Watching on my iPad, laying in bed with my headphones on, making sure my mom okay. I'm like, fuck. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? So I got my pad and I turned it to the notes section and just words just through my head. And I can't even type. My fingers can't even go fast enough as I'm typing and typing. And what I was calling lyrics just coming to me, just word for word, line for line, rhyme for rhyme. I ain't even gotta think for the stuff. It's just coming to me. I'm at dinner with my sister. She like, who is you texting? I'm like, I'm writing, Lori. I'm writing.
Right.
We in Arizona at dinner. It'll come to me. I'll be sitting, I'm cleaning the tub. I'm in the kitchen cleaning the tub.
Here it comes.
Like a moth to a flame, like a moth to a flame. And then he'll give me like 2 lyrics in your head. And I'm like, okay. And he'll be like, right, oh, stop. So shoot, stop what you're doing. Right, get my iPad, get my phone, whatever it is, just give me something. I gotta get this out, I gotta push it out. It's like labor pain. So you know it's time to push. And you're like, I gotta get this out. Right? And very seldom do I go back and critique it because it's his work. It's not mine.
That's right.
So this is what you told me to write, so this is what I'm gonna write. And it's gonna mean whatever it needs to mean to whoever it needs to mean it to. And then my mom, one night, I had started writing poetry. I was at church, very faithful.
to the world, man.
That was my life, right? Wednesdays, I look forward to Wednesdays. I could go to Bible study twice a day, right? If I got out the house.
Yeah, she did. I used to go with you, Mom, remember?
Yeah.
In the daytime. At Pastor Gordon's. Yeah, we used to watch that show.
All right.
Did you have fun?
It was fun, I ain't gonna lie. It was cool. We used to go get lunch after.
So that was my highlight, right? Man, I go to that. And I was writing my poetry one night in between lessons. And my pastor asked me what I was gonna do it. And I told him I was writing my poetry. He said, I didn't know you was a poet. I said, I didn't either. What God giving me to do? He said, okay, then about next week, he said, would you like to come on my radio show? I share your poetry.
Wow.
I was speechless. Couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh my God, I'm scared. I can't do this.
Oh, wow.
And he said, yes, you can. You can do it, Jackie. And I told my mom about it. They can't hear you. And she said, you can do it, Jack. And I told my sister about it. And she said, yeah, Jackie, you should do it. I had so much anxiety that day. They can't hear. I was just, you know, floored. Hold on, guys. We're gonna
We're just having some technical things that the listeners can't hear.
Oh,
The
okay.
Facebook listeners?
Is that, yeah.
I think we're getting it on YouTube. Maybe they can go to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because you know how Satan. Because I'm giving glory to the King.
Can y'all hear?
Is this camera
We
on?
already
Is it
So
on?
We're not gonna let it
Lord,
ride.
Tell
Is this
everybody
camera
to go
on
to
me?
YouTube.
Everybody go to YouTube.
The POJ Show. The
Yes.
POJ Show.
That's on YouTube.
Alright? That's what we gotta do. They can't hear shit, huh?
Miss Foster.
Yeah, type it.
Linda
Whitley's
Foster,
gonna write it.
Can you
Yeah.
hear us?
Okay.
Linda Foster, you out there?
Because we.
Is anybody out there?
He said,
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
Tap in.
he said the microphone is on.
I said, is this camera on?
No, just, where is that from?
He asked me to come to the show, so anyhow, I was so nervous that day, and I went, and, cause he's a big prayer, he
Mm-hmm,
still lives.
mm-hmm.
He's a bishop now, but I always love to call him the good Reverend Dr. Sherman.
Right.
There you go, I just love to say that from the show, good Reverend Doctor, you know what I mean, Mark? Like to say that, but Bishop Dr. Sherman, lead pastor of Family Faith Christian Center at 345 East Carson Street,
All
Long
right.
Beach, California.
Hold it
Bishop.
down. North.
Shout out.
And he has a show, an evening with Pastor G every Sunday on KG. So here I go, tracing with my pastor to KJLH.
Traipsing.
Come on through, SAT.
Anyway,
I still see you.
and I had that time, guys. I brought my book, and Whitley has it. I had the two. I only had 2 pieces that I took. I remember one of them.
They still can't hear.
Huh?
They still can't hear.
Guys, they still can't hear. You think we should reload or no?
She gotta go to YouTube now.
Let's just try that. We gonna shut it down and restart, y'all.
Yeah, we gotta hear this.
We
But
still,
we're
if people
still
still
on
hear us on
YouTube.
Yikes, and we still on YouTube.
Oh, we're
So
still
for
on-
Facebook people, which right now the majority of our viewers are,
Just click
Just stay tuned.
red button.
we're gonna log out, guys,
Right.
and we're gonna log back
Can they
in
hear us?
and make this a good try effort.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You telling them what?
Mhm.
Okay. So then that means it's something with stuff.
They still can't hear y'all.
Hey, can somebody go to Yikes
Period.
Radio? Could you guys go to Yikes Radio? Are we being heard on Yikes?
Let me step
Let's
outside.
go to the
I don't
internet.
wanna break down the studio.
The static.
How you break those?
It's like, you know,
I'll just be
sound
here
to
with the
sound,
sound.
interfering.
I'm gonna be right out here.
Science, sound
So I figure we
waves.
can try it on Yikes, and then Emma gonna get us back up on you on Facebook. We could totally.
But we are live on
Okay, so we want to go back to
Oh, you said
YouTube.
that.
Yeah. Anyway, so anyhow, guys, I apologize. So I go on. I remember the poem Illumination. That was this one piece I did, and it was this piece called Illumination. Guys, and that was back in the day, and I was B100 when I was doing pills.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had probably had like 2.5 Xanax and stuff, and I still was just nervous as I don't know what. It's like, I don't know if you remember that feeling on your tongue palace, like, on your tongue palace, back in the cut on your tongue palace, and I was just like, anyway, I got through it, and I did like 2 pieces of poetry, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a freaking KGLH with my best, freaking doing poetry. Yeah, right?
Good shit.
So that's when like that happened, and I remember when I came home and I set my mom here and I said, "Hey, mom, this is how you listen to it." And she listened. The girls helped her, and then she says to me, one night later that night, we were watching TV. I was on my iPad watching French, and she said, "Jack, Jack." Yes, mom. Oh, just about 60 pieces, mommy. She said, what? I said, yeah, mommy. You got that many pieces of poetry? I said, yeah, mommy. What was you writing all of that? Every doctor's appointment, you sitting there. You in the hospital, I'm sitting there. In the emergency room, I'm sitting there. And I'm writing.
On Yikes.
And she said, oh, Jack, that poetry is
She
beautiful.
did call her Jack Jack.
You have to write a book. I don't want to write no book, mama. She said, yes, you do, Jack. You can do it. And I was like, oh my God. Now I gotta write a book. How the hell do I write a book? You know what I mean? What do I do? How do I put all of this together? And remember that? And then I said, but I gotta have more pieces of poetry. I'm always pushing myself hard. Gotta have more. 60 is not enough. I need 80 pieces. So then I went underground. Just me and God. All day. Okay, 80 pieces of poetry. Now what do I do? I don't know. Lori, what do I do? Lori's like, I don't know. Anyway, I just, we ended up calling some friggin' Arthur House scam. Anyway,
It was
I don't
scam.
recommend it.
Those were the scam days. Remember
Oh
those
my
days?
God.
What was that lady's name? She was a scammer.
Big scam.
Oh,
we can't
my
call her
God.
name, y'all. We ain't gonna call her
Lord,
name.
she was a scammer.
Everyone should know about her.
She's a scammer.
Marcus is biting his
Her
nails.
daughter's a scammer too.
Big scam.
Big scams.
Right?
Big wigs and big scams.
So we going ahead now. We're on this journey and putting this book together, right?
Photo shoots, big photo
All right, y'all,
shoots.
what's gonna be the cover? What photograph
Big
we're
racks
gonna
in the
use?
middle,
We
big
started
photo
running around
shoots.
doing photo shoots. Y'all, my baby girl did my very first photo shoot. We standing in the front yard in front of the beautiful palm trees.
I
right?
did that. Period.
Remember that?
Held
Remember
it
that?
down.
Then
I
I
said,
got
don't
with
put on
this-
your best blouse and come out when the sun is shining.
We was serious.
Right at peak. Come through.
Look, I got the scam artist
That's
came in.
it.
Then she made me and my sister pay for a freaking $5.
Oh my
Lori
fucking
called her Madam Scam.
Madam Scam?
Oh,
Wow.
scam.
Ms.
Wow. The devil?
The devil.
The devil?
But he
Period.
was a lot.
with her too.
Boom, boom, boom.
She was like Mommy's
Right.
manager.
I know. She was like Selena's manager. Hater.
Hollywood talk, but you know Hollywood talk
Yeah.
now.
I know Hollywood talk.
That's the way y'all say Hollywood talk.
$2,000 later.
Oh, you know some Hollywood talk
she was
after 2
good.
stacks later.
Right, she was good. She was good. She was
All right.
good. She was good.
Mhm.
And I never forget it.
She really that 2,000.
She's still
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
and you soaring. How about that?
Remember when Pastor G say,
Yeah, number crackers.
and he took it for real though, because you know I love these my compliment rappers. He gonna say, shit, you gonna keep giving her money, shoot. You don't have to be like back in the day. You have to be like, got that Polish rain out the back of my car. Got that Polish rain. I was like, you ain't never lied. You know what I'm saying? That's what we started doing. Me and Lloyd, we get.
I'm just smart.
Lloyd, you want to talk about good shows?
Because
It was just too much.
it was a lot. I mean, I think we learned a lot about
Faded down.
self-publishing.
It was faded down.
And there are other ways to go where the self means you get the benefit.
It was
But they
so
sell this package
sketchy.
like, oh, you're gonna be in Barnes and Noble.
Wow,
You're
because
gonna
we're
be on
vegetarian during the week.
Amazon. You're gonna be all of these places,
We're
and we were.
vegan.
But we got 4 cents.
And we're
And they got
$15.95.
Right, when the first commission, they don't tell you this.
Wow.
When that first commission check came, y'all, I
Wasn't
said,
it? It was like 2 cents. It was like 2 cents. That was crazy. You I do.
Mrs. Check came, I said,
The first check is here.
I looked at it. I said 2 cents. Maybe I put the zeros in the wrong place. I was like, no, it's not like this. It's like it said 00.02. And I was like,
Her
2
royalties,
cents.
her royalties
Why else
like,
in the
all
check
that
like
damn
this?
hard work. Needless to say, that was a double scam, because then we paid these fools on top of old
on
girls.
top of that, on top of the
Right?
exactly.
Scammy was
it was such a, it was scam season. It was
And sell our
shady
product.
ball,
Yeah.
straight
Then
up.
we got on
We're
game.
gonna go to conferences. So we pay the
Go to your
we
conference.
pay the conference fee.
You remember when we used to build up and break down the set?
Then we paid to
I
stand
don't
in the
know. How
conference.
do you think?
Hey, money that day.
Right? And we set up, but 90% of the people wanted the product for free.
Wow.
They wanted the product.
But then when we got on game though, straight real was effort, and we gonna control the market printing. So the Lori and we got our own printer, so we started printing direct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I can buy them. I own all my stuff.
Right.
So then that's what I'm saying. So own your own.
Profit is all.
Right, so then we get the entire $15.
Yeah.
I keep, but we can show
But they don't
them.
tell you
Like
that.
that.
They put you on game.
That's
Of course
fine.
not.
You know, they don't tell you all that. But
That's
in the poetry and doing shows.
So needless to say, your childhood experiences has helped to develop this machine,
Okay.
this piece of machinery that is being developed here, right? In short order, needless to say. I wanna ask you, like,
Piece of machinery.
was your ability to do did your ability to write the poetry, did it come out, was it a place of pain?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good
It hit some
question.
painful places, Mom.
Wow.
You got deep.
You really got it. You got it in your bag.
It's a
right?
book.
You got naked with yourself in the mirror in
it's
your
a book.
mind.
We were just talking about
Yes,
that.
Jay. You never seen the
You
book?
never read her book?
No, I ain't read the book.
Jay,
got-
you read
Give
the
my book to
book.
read.
Thank
You didn't give me a book to give Jay to read.
Grandma
got all her books at home.
She
Yeah,
one
it's a
of
book.
these black folks and these
It's a-
niggas.
I need to sit
I
down
still
and
got
read
my book.
Did my 12th grade teacher not buy your book? Did Miss Burke not buy your book?
And
Bert.
Whitley, could you
Mr.
go
Jones
get
don't
that
have
book out
the
that
book.
bag?
It's on
Handsome, sexy
Amazon?
man. Could you leave
It
that
is.
bag?
It is on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Read
It is on
it.
Jay, look
Amazon.
at that bag.
I want to buy
That
it.
smart final bag.
It is on Amazon.
It's good.
I want to buy it.
It is a good book.
It's
She got bars.
She was slapping some things down.
She like Dre should put her in the studio, lay her on a beat.
That's it. That's the book.
That's the book.
So did
The
you know
poetry's
though,
rain.
when you started this piece of work, that it
Jackie
was
Ray
gonna be
Phillips.
therapeutic for you
Wow.
as well as others?
Read this.
Let me see that.
Jay
Yeah,
said,
that's
I better
right,
read
hold
this.
I just want to be able to see it on
Look at
Did
Amazon.
you know that when you were
He's
writing
saying-
down all that painful stuff, this is
Marcus is
gonna
gonna-
help
Break,
somebody
the
else.
breakdown.
I'm about it.
Did you know
Break.
that? Did you know that it was helping you?
You gotta read
though,
like that.
at
Look,
the
she got her
time?
own quote.
No. I was just doing his work.
Just show me the cover.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
was just
yeah.
doing
Her
what
own
you told me to
cover
do.
in life.
Oh, yeah.
And some posts like
Break
this,
down the
it was
break- break
interesting
through the
because some
breakdown.
pieces
Show
will
me
come
the
out, as you see Jade has the book, some pieces would come out like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd give me like 1, 2, 3, 4 lyrics. And then the next block of 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a whole different flow of poetry. And then the next block, and then the next block. And then there were some pieces that he would give me that were just 2 lines. You see what I'm saying? And then there were some pieces that he would give me was just 10 words in totality. But each one I knew needed to be represented. But one thing that I found from the critical reception from the Poet's Reigns was I had 2 curse words in there. I say shit and I say hell. How the hell in the for life.
And you say fun.
But that's not bad.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, we didn't even say fun. Did we call it little, is it, did we say that? Let's read BFF. BFF, right? Black
With the
Women.
iPhone. Right with
The
the,
name
right
of
with
this
the
piece is really
iPhone.
called.
She's like this.
You want me to tell you?
Maybe she's like this.
I ain't gonna say what it's really called.
Let me see.
Where is it at? Lord?
Well, you can keep talking.
Okay, Lori's gonna look for y'all. But anyway, it has the word hell in it. Because there's this one piece called For Life, and I'm talking about a gentleman who's been incarcerated and have life sentences. And it talks a little bit about, like when the hell am I gonna get out of this cage? And then there was another one that says, I think it's in free of toxicity or pop 'em, one of the two, and I said this shit. How long am I supposed to tolerate this shit? So it didn't fit in Christian, my church congregation purchased it. Amazing turnout, great sales right out the box. When we began to really literally self-publish in terms of, I'm controlling the market on that. And then,
It just says BFH.
yeah.
I should get it for y'all moms for Mother's Day. That would be a good gift.
And so
IJS.
I would just, whatever.
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah, next Sunday.
And then I would always send them to Lori. I'd send them to Lori, and I'm like, Lori, look at
Amazon
this,
Prime
Lori,
and
this,
just don't
Lori,
play.
Lori, because they were just coming out.
Right.
And then I'm like, Lori, what do you think? And then she was like, oh my God, these are great.
But you spoke it to life. You know what I'm saying? You asked
That
him
she
to
did
move.
do.
You asked him to move. And he moved in you. Sure did.
You took authority over it, you spoke it, you released it, and it manifested like nothing. Like wow, it just kept, it did. You spoke it and you let it go.
Yeah. Some of the pieces were so painful, my daughters asked me to exclude some of them. Yeah.
But as now looking back, even just based on my own things, it's like I was classically conditioned to think to hide certain things, and it's like don't put your truth out there for the protection of certain people in our lives. But it's like
Now you
hell,
know
this your
though.
truth, and you tell your story.
And you know the therapeutic value.
And then and it's so crazy. It comes through you in a way that you never thought. It has to get out though.
It has to.
It's not safe, it's not healthy, it's so toxic, and you can't be real and get nothing real unless you really get real with your own shit.
Right.
This is a cold piece of work right there. Let me tell you. That's a cold piece of work right there. She talking about she work.
She also works in rehabilitation. She works for a New Start out in Culver City.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
she's familiar.
Yeah,
All right.
did that.
Starting out brand new.
Come on, Nico.
New start,
Brand new.
Brand new.
My next question is, I want your
She
sister
let
to
post in
ask
this
some
world,
questions
Right through
of
the
her
breakdown.
sister. My question is, your
Start this
family,
tomorrow.
your family,
Right through the
that
breakdown.
unit.
Close down.
Yes. In 2 words, I want you to describe
Yeah.
your family unit.
In 2 words.
2 words. I want you to describe your family.
As real as you
unit.
could. I'm gonna pick my 2 and I'm gonna see what you
What
say.
is it? Mimo or what's the daddy?
Mimo.
Mimo.
Or what?
And these beautiful girls.
What's
That's
the
just
2
what I
words that
want.
describe
2
that
words.
rep our family? The 2.
2 words. I want you to describe
Okay, like
yours.
the funny kind.
The
whatever
real.
comes to your mind. And
Motherfuckers.
I say strength and humor.
Straight to humor. It's a lot of
Strength, it's a lot of humor. It's so much
They
more
are,
strength.
not in a disrespectful way.
Dead ass.
Look
Not
at
in
this
a
guy.
disrespectful
What do you
way.
think, man?
In an all
You look like you have
real
thoughts.
Holy Spirit.
Young
This
man.
is
That's
some
thinking
mother,
right
and then
there.
when I say that, I'm not saying it like I'm saying
That's just thinking over there, got nothing.
They
Chair
on
rocking.
point. And when I say that, I mean they don't know joke. None of them. The daddy,
We don't know how to
these
joke.
2, y'all ain't no joke.
Oh,
You
we
guys go
Dead
hard
ass.
around here.
my
Dead ass.
On everything,
That
on
was-
every situation.
Hold it
And
down.
sometimes they gives the D-gab. They gives no yikes.
Dilly Gab,
And do you
daily,
know, I like
25
to
bed.
Unlike that?
I was. Not anymore.
Come here and say, you talking about the daddy.
Yeah, I was.
You's a cold piece of work.
That's what I'm
too.
saying. My mom be out of like she's slipping
All
cord.
right,
She
alumni.
said, don't say
It's in the higher market.
Granny used to say, how do you have friends and you hold it down?
Right? How can we go through some of the
Oh, you want
things
to cut the
that
high?
Look, she
Yeah,
was
see
with
how-
me.
No.
She was with me shooting in the gym.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
That's what I know. I was with JackieRay shooting in the
She
gym.
was in me. She was with me shooting in the
These
gym
two
the
is
whole
cut high.
time.
Right?
That's a Drake lyric, meaning that like you've been supporting
You
me.
been, yeah, I've been holding this down.
Holding me down but lifting me up at the same time.
It's like if I'm ever down on myself, my mom uplift me.
Yeah.
That's just it. I ain't
They some cold pieces when they are abused.
Them Phillipses ain't no joke. Them Phillipses.
Oh, me
Yeah,
too. She went to come down like, what's up?
Yeah.
I love them. I love them.
I know.
I love them.
I know.
But they hardcore.
She is 23.
You know, I love them like my
James,
daughter.
Well, it's a testament to
She
but it's not a bad thing. I think that unfortunately, there's a lot of times we shade kids. You know what I'm saying? Are we thinking?
And the reason why I say that is because they're beautiful.
So how old is she?
And are highly intelligent. They're street,
You're 30.
they hood, they ghetto, they thug, they gangster. They
Smart.
They're college graduates.
Just like I tell people, I can go from the hills to the hood.
But I don't wanna cross
In every
either one of them.
sense. Right?
That's all I'm
You
saying.
can't hear them. You can't hear about that.
Miss Lord.
That may have been rowdy though, but I love
What questions do you have for your sister?
Well, I think there's two areas that I'd like for us to delve into. And I think one is to switch reels just a little
Yeah.
bit and talk a little bit about energy production.
Yes.
Because that
dead
was-
right now, guys.
Bring him back.
Production is on its last.
He's on a
leg.
nap.
It's not
Hope to
too
God.
early.
It's like a
She get a
volcano.
new name.
What is a different kind of volcano? Dormant.
They're
It's
true.
dormant.
And then here's
And then
the
it's about to be
water level,
active.
honestly. She said it's dead.
It's inactive.
Lori said
But
it's
you guys are just making a comeback. Like Pastor
Lori, it's dormant. Your
It's
guys
in-
Y'all
are
lying.
dead.
You guys are lying.
Your
You're not
fallback
a
is
new
getting ready for a
class.
comeback.
They're
Right.
lying.
We finna have a probate, don't trip.
GPE it received a critical blow.
It's okay.
And so it was in the hospital in a
On life
coma.
support.
ICU. It was in life support on a coma.
Yeah.
And so now I
It's
think
all good.
we're starting to see a little
We
flicker
had
of life.
our mother
A little flicker
became
of life
very
is
ill,
coming
and
back.
so we had to
Is,
take care of
this
her.
is the production company that puts on the
Blue
shows and they like the one in June.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it to be all 100 because if it's
The
still on
dollar
life
line.
support, I ain't gonna be
No,
able to
that's right.
participate.
That's
I put the
that.
dollar
That's
line on my back.
What the hell?
Hallelujah! Right now, in the name of Jesus, it's the GPE
Cause I'm just
resurrection.
I'm taking those ways.
Still going down.
It's
I'm taking
Saturday.
ways.
Still
I
used
see
to
your
go.
ways. She used to take to get to Compton.
At Phillips Ranch in Long.
Right.
It's a real script.
So Lori, what about
And the Phillips.
Gingy?
Is that the crib? Yeah, we gonna put the whole thing. Yeah, we got Mac. I gotta give my giving my nephew
So,
a girl.
Mac is catering?
It's your nephew.
That's my nephew. Cause I get confused between him and Took. I'm like, is he my great nephew?
Tig is your great nephew.
Took is the great. Mackie, you know the
That's
nephew.
my best.
See what happened when you get 50?
Yeah, it's like which one is who?
Yeah. So anywho, I want to give a shout out
That's
to
Bay
Mac.
50, am I?
Just give a shout out.
What you trying to show
I
you?
want to give out to Mac.
That's
Mac
my
is
baby.
my nephew and my sister's son-in-law, and he has an amazing catering company called
Alright.
G Baby.
G babies.
Big shout out for G-Baby.
Yeah, and so G Babies is gonna be there, and who else is gonna be there? Lori? Tell everybody about what Gingy Productions.
Yes, he had a whole
And we'll get
spread
back
last
to
week.
your vision and how you created Gingy
Oh, you tell them now?
Productions.
He didn't know Mac was
No, it's just kind of keep
Mac is a
it
chef.
We need you guys to be on now, okay? So Gingy Productions is putting on the Resurrection Tour. And it's going to be story tales from your hood. So I need all of you poets, I need all of you storytellers to get at us here on the POJ Show. We'll be doing auditions. Now this is an exclusive event.
right?
So we have a very captive VIP audience. G-Babies will be catering. We're looking for about 10 to 12 performers. We got the hottest DJ around, TJ. That's my DJ. Will be there. So it's just gonna be.
Emmett may perform, I just heard, came down. Emmett may be
Be
performing.
quiet.
I'm seeing some pretty whites over there.
I
I ain't seen it.
Emmett is the Oz, y'all. Emmett is the Oz. We go to Emmett like when she get wild up in here, cause it could be a lot of like female juices.
And he had to bring us back.
And so we go to Emmett and we be like, King Emmett Oz. You know what I'm saying? And King Emmett like, now you talking like you got some sense.
Right?
Or you said, you know, you don't want
Now
my
don't
baby.
you hold on, remember this? Now you know you want some draws.
Right?
That's it, the first time.
All right, Lord.
Emmett keep us in check,
You
y'all.
know you want, I don't know what size, but you know you want some. So I'm excited. I am just like in awe of you both, really, to be honest with you. All this creative energy that you guys have. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you first.
I agree. I agree. I
Yeah.
have no idea out of the, I don't want to be dating us, about out of the 30 years,
Right?
I did not know this existed, and it's so amazing to see it come into fruition. Because I did not know that this lived inside of the both of you. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see it. It's so amazing.
When I think of Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company, I'm gonna tell a story about my sister. But what Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company is, I was doing my poetry, right? I was doing the book and touring, and Lori's always been my financial supporter. And we out there on the ground doing what we do, and Lori taking care of everything. So this was the first time in my life, going back to childhood, being Lori Ray's little sister, that Lori was not fully integrated in as a part of my life. Does that make sense? Because everything my sister and I are like this.
Yeah.
Something you do.
And the poetry, Lori wasn't doing poetry, so I didn't know
Got it.
what to do because me and Lori can't talk about this like this. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, I got a gift, and I done been scammed, right?
Honey,
And
my
then I
sister,
started
Madam
the,
Scam.
She Madam Scammer.
which I did love. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. My community theater work. Started doing community theater at local shows around Long Beach. And then I see you start venturing out to Huntington Beach. Just some good stuff. Met some amazing people. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing this for free. What's wrong with me? I'm William Phillips' wife. What's wrong with me? Well, it didn't really kick in until I played I got a part, and it was really a big part. It was the Dust Witch, Emmett, if you ever saw.
You was the dust witch?
I was the Dust Witch, my jigger. And something wicked this way come. Ray Bradbury, something wicked. Y'all, I'm telling you, that was like, for me, that was my Holly Berry moment. I know y'all gonna call me and shit, but for me, cause I had just done the live theater. I'm just part of the group. I'm just one of the dancers, jigging, right? But it was felt good cause I was in my little group and I'm old and I'm hanging with these 20-year-olds, right?
Holding it down.
Then I got the opportunity to,
That's what she was like.
actually I was invited to audition by the Alan Palmer. I gotta give Alan Palmer, but Alan Palmer's a cool cat. I met him on the set of Chess, the musical. And Alan Palmer was one of the original Power Rangers, so he did a large stint on television, with the Power Rangers, and he does a lot. And Alan Palmer, which was to me, because everybody was like, oh my God, Alan Palmer's gonna be in this play. That's when I learned, oh my God, Alan Palmer. And I did all this research, and he's the shit. He invites me,
Right.
JackieRay. I'm thinking little girl out of Compton, that's all I'm still saying there.
Right.
Go to Orange County and audition, right? Okay, what the hell I did. Anyway, I went. And I did the Snake Pit. Remember that? I did the Snake Pit. I had written this piece called the Snake Pit. And I auditioned with the Snake Pit. And at the end of the day, I got the role. But the reason why I was so excited is because one of my dream actresses, Pam Grier, you know, I love Pam Grier. If you don't know now, you know I love Pam Grier, particularly Jackie Brown. Because Jackie Brown, the white shoes, the whole time, everybody in white shoes was watched that shit for fucking months, and then I bought it. I was like, Jackie Brown, Google, you can't tell me nothing, but I was JackieRay. Right? So I was like, oh my God, it's Jackie Brown suit. But anyway, so Lori and I didn't know how to integrate that. And so I'm like, I need my sissy. That's the God honest truth. I need my sissy. So I gotta create something in my sissy. And I can be side by side and do this together. Like, other than just Lori giving me some money, here, Jackie, go do this. You know what I'm saying? And then, it came to my head, and so, my sister's middle name, I'm gonna tell it, get over it. Her middle name is
She was a really cute name.
It's a really cute name,
And I
super
think it's
cute.
adorable. She friggin' hates her middle name.
Fucking beautiful.
It's a super cute middle name. Tell her free. Tell her free.
Tell her.
It's super cute, Ginger.
BET her.
Ginger's a good name.
That wasn't that well.
Okay.
It was not embraced with the wind blowing in the breeze.
Oh, wow.
LG.
I know.
Lori
Lori
G. Like Gabriel.
Oh,
Ginger.
G.
Gabriel.
Right?
Well, it could have been, yes.
Yeah, it could've been Ginger Lori.
She was Ginger, she hates that, so I'm like, what's that?
Gingy.
And God just said, Ginger. And we met, we knew a little girl. We was growing up our first apartment. She was a beautiful little girl, and she always reminded me of my sister.
She
You know,
was
she was a little girl, she had long ponytail, like Lori used to have, long pretty ponytail.
Lori had hair crop.
And her name was Ginger.
Just
And she used to look up to Lori.
Like Justin.
Just she was a pretty little girl. And I'm like, Gingy, and it just, like God, I was telling you the lyrics, and it just came, Ginger Productions and Entertainment. Boom, that's up. That's us. Lori, we gonna do this. Lori, you like, this? What you talking about? Lori, we just gonna do this. I don't know how we gonna do it, but we just gonna do it. You down? You with me? Then I had to ask you, you with me? You gonna roll with me? What we gonna do? We gonna do this?
For real?
She was like, yeah. I was like, what we doing? We gonna do it. And
Me too. They be like, John, tell that's
Motion.
cute.
Poetry in
I'll tell
motion,
Mama.
listening explosion, y'all. That was our
John,
first
tell
video.
like John Taylor.
That was
that's
when I
cute.
did
So
my
public
my
meeting.
CD.
Okay.
Oh, and then this one here, right?
Like,
I really got into directing.
That's cute.
Then, absolutely.
No, you didn't. That first show, she actually had to learn her lines. You guys, she put together this whole script for herself.
Auntie Lori?
So we had poets.
Yeah,
coming out. We did
well-versed.
A release party for the Archer, which was my little
Because-
spoken word CD. I recorded. iTunes, people, Spotify, SoundCloud, oh, just rang.
Okay.
Anyway.
Where Jones?
And so we've done the Archer, and I'm like, Lord, everybody else has listening parties. We're gonna have a listening party. So we called it the Poetry in Motion Listening Explosion. Ginger Production Entertainment Company. Lord, what did your friend say when you get off? She closed the show.
Thank you.
And we get it, Lord, what you say, thank you. And you know, we just love that shit. I love that shit. I love that shit when we get it. So this fool running around like a fool. Oh my God, I don't know my lines. I don't know my lines. And so we did it at the
Jay ran a book.
From Long Beach Arts.
Cultural Arts
Ready?
Live.
Center.
Cultural
Life.
Arts Live.
Life, that shit gonna be called
Little
life.
show. We had other poets come in.
You made money on that show too.
Jay.
It's quite lucrative.
It was a lucrative deal.
Life.
See, when you keep stuff simple,
And remember, I
Life
executive
by
produced
Jay
so money
Jones.
counted. Yeah, that's a big deal. We had low overhead. It was really nice.
that's
I believe in
why
his
the
story. It'll be
resurrection
powerful.
I didn't know.
I
didn't know.
story
Yeah.
sells from our
You
head.
had
Lord,
a
Lord,
friend.
Lord.
You had a
Oh
friend.
my
But
God.
Gene, we were talking
He's been through a lot.
about the
He's
Blue
had
Side.
strong
Blue Side was like
Yes.
some serious work. I mean, that was epic.
Right.
That was
It was.
literally a
Yeah.
dream come
It
true.
was.
That's how you
We went
survive.
from
man.
the
You
Social
survive
explosion
situation.
To our next venture was the Blues Bar.
Jay. If
Which
you, I've been
was
down
really,
to the pen
um,
and paper
A
before. I've
magnificent
had to write.
experience.
Go back to journal.
Because it
Pencil.
incorporated
Tell
people
Jay
from
about
the
my
community,
thesis.
the city of
Just-
Compton, who had aspirations and dreams for being
Pencil.
engaged or involved in entertainment. And, you know, some people were older, like 40, 45 years
Just the
old,
math
that were able to come back and they never acted in front of an audience.
Marcus
And
got
so
an
we
A in algebra.
put that together. It was wonderful for me because I work around all of these
Yes, ma'am.
directors and actors and artists every single day. And I'm the administrative person that makes the wheels turn
SDA.
in the school of
SE, stand up.
Wow.
Stand
And
up.
it was amazing to see how much I had learned from being around all of those individuals. And if anybody knows me, I'm on the grind. I'm on the hustle. I am.
Lori about a bag.
No, Lori's about a bag.
Miss Bag. Miss
Hustle.
Money Bag.
Be on that
Hustle.
hustle money.
Yeah,
So I
y'all
never
love
really
money.
slowed
Not
down
they money.
to allow
Yes, she is.
myself
May night.
to tap into
Chip on
being
herself.
creative.
Artificial torsion,
And
man.
Blue has gave me the opportunity
No,
to do that.
you
To
only
really
got one
see
chance
something
for it.
in my mind and to have it realized on the stage and to create a sense of realism and
to educate our actors to make a connection and to tell that story. And we told that story through movement, through sound. I mean, it was great to give opportunity. We created a guy who was a DJ, we turned him into a sound designer. The opportunity to educate him with that. We had a young woman who was just a seamstress, and we worked with her. She became a costume designer. So we were able to kind of give opportunity and context. We had another relative who became a stage manager. Just all of these parts of the theater that we were able to put together and put that on. And Blue is sold out.
Our makeup artist.
Wow.
Shelly became our makeup artist.
Our makeup.
Shelly's our makeup.
Okay.
Yeah, she did
All
all
of
our
our
cast
cast
and
and
crew.
crew. Awesome job. I'm gonna need y'all to do all of that good stuff that y'all be doing for whatever part I'm supposed to do in this production. Yeah. Yeah.
He's on his way back. It is. He's on his way back.
I'ma need this really one on this perspective. I don't know.
You have a story. You have a story.
No.
Because see, that's when I started. I started just doing basic storytelling. You know what I mean? Because everybody has a story, and from your hood is in your heart, and your hood is in your spirit.
You do.
And whatever that is, and you know, you
There
can
you go.
dance, you can talk, you know, whatever you want to do.
No, you're really right, and I never really looked at it from that perspective. You know what I mean? But it's just like in the work that we do. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of my life. That's my story. You know what I'm saying? And like I tell people all the time, I didn't get a college degree to do the work that I do. I did it by getting it all wrong.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Failure is the
that
best teacher.
survived.
Creates your story.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Failure is the
reason.
best
I tell them all
teacher.
the
I'll
time,
tell you
this is
right
why
now.
I sit here. This is why I sponsor you. This is why I can put this
Know what
here.
you're
You know
doing.
what I'm saying? And let you see. So
I think what I'm
okay,
learning
so
is working
Okay,
with me
okay.
and sponsoring me. I think the biggest thing is
I'm just saying,
being able to
you know that, right?
I got you back.
And I know for so many years I was unable to do so, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But some of those barriers and doors that, hey, how you guys doing?
Hi.
Some of those doors and barriers, blockades, or I can't let that. I won't. I'm not. Because how can people really understand the essence of my purpose if I don't share the reality?
What's really?
And Lord,
That's my auntie Ty.
because I think people will continue to possibly deliver exterior pattern
Mm-hmm.
and make those same so-called assumptions that was made upon me when I was at 11 years old. Yeah, in that gym. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how far I'll go and how deep I'll tell, but I know I will no longer be bound. If a matter of subject comes up where it is required or necessary, in my opinion, to share that is going to help save
Mm-hmm.
someone else.
Yeah.
Or help someone else
Your testimony.
walk through, quicksand.
So many people don't.
And what we find, don't you think, is that when you do that,
Yeah.
like I tell people,
You reach an
I'm
audience
getting
that
more
you.
out of this
Yeah.
than you are.
I
Right,
think the
I
biggest
said.
thing is, if you
Yeah.
can share,
I think so.
I'm a share.
She reaches
Last
an audience
week,
that's scared to
when,
speak up for themselves. You know.
Yes.
I had experienced a panic attack
How do you
Trying
handle
to
that? How do you
travel.
fare with it?
to my sister's home.
Oh
for
yeah.
My homegirl Shelly's party.
Yeah. Last week
Me and her both got stuck.
And when I
they did.
called Frida Ross to tell her, Free. And then I began to explain to her with my body how it had turned on me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it turns on you.
Yeah, it does.
It starts in your
With the
brain.
mind, and then the body is sure to follow.
And the body
Ain't that how it
is
goes? Mind, body,
defunct
spirit.
and
That's
shut
right.
down and become paralyzed.
Literally.
So scary.
Paralyzed. You can't breathe. Someone is, you feel as though something is literally inside of your throat, tying a knot, as my grandmother would say.
I had an asthma attack before, just like that.
Oh my God.
Could not breathe.
I thought I was about to die before. It wasn't an asthma attack though. It just doesn't feel good.
Panic attack before.
Everything. You have to just keep telling yourself, breathe, breathe.
take. It ain't gonna take it away.
No.
Don't take it away. Just
Right.
don't take it away.
Yeah.
And I know what that has felt like consistently. I know for 20 years.
Yeah.
I explained 2 symptoms to you, and you connected with me like a moth to a flame. You're like, oh, Jackie, when you explain that to me,
That's how you can do it. Hold on to it.
because you think I have thought for several years, this only happens to me.
Don't hold on to nothing.
Nobody else ain't got this.
That's what you
Nobody
think.
else feel this jacked up.
It is such a common thing, and you are
Yes,
making it a
it
safe
is.
place. You are making it okay to speak out and talk
It
about
is.
it.
And we will be having our mental health
Month,
awareness
okay.
show July 6th, everybody. And I'm gonna
Okay.
get dirty with that one and be real with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're also gonna be doing health and wellness. We're gonna be doing wellness show. I'm gonna have a yoga specialist coming in, Pam Satnam. She's gonna come below. And so we're gonna have her coming in May 27th. She's gonna come in and we're gonna talk a little bit about health and wellness. But you know what, ladies? As I'm sitting here speaking, I'm thinking we're gonna need her to come back after we do the mental health show. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all
relative.
related, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if your mind is not right, and then it's that, and then we discussed it because I'm still trying to push and persevere. After I, you know, have my moment and talk
get
about
to
my
Montana.
sister and this and that and third, but then it's like, when you explain to me the same way, you're like, well, you know what, Jackie, just get home
Mm-hmm.
and get rest. That's all you kept telling me. Just go. Get
That's all I
some
told
rest.
you too. You was like, I'm stressed out. I said, don't stress.
Go
I
to
see Lori
sleep.
understands. Go home. Text me when you make it home.
That's what I was telling her. I was like, girl, everybody in town knows you don't drive the freeway.
It's not even about the freeway driving. Everybody knows how much you've been
Drake?
through. And
That
I
shit bust
Drake.
her
So that's all
Drake.
that matters to me.
Have you ever heard about
I
the
don't want to
freeway?
see you bust down. So like, don't bust down.
The only women I heard about the freeway. The freeway? There's a lot of pressure on the freeway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on the freeway.
Baby, I get on that highway
On that
and I
freeway, it's a
take
lot of-
you somewhere.
That's me. I take the
If your mind, no, that's what she
Girl, 'cause I
on.
can
If
drive
your
on
mind
the
ain't clear, you
side.
can't drive on those.
And then that's what Jackie said. That's my mom.
Because she wants to come back.
In LA, you can't drive no freeway.
But it's
A lot of shit on your mind.
paralyzing.
It's
You're supposed to be over there in the background.
You think a lot.
But you've come a long way, Mom.
You
Back in
think
the day,
a
you
lot.
used to let panic attacks debilitate you, keep you frozen, stuck. You don't know what steps to take.
Yeah.
Your growth is phenomenal.
Huh.
You've been on your
it-
journey, and it's your journey, but you don't ever like fall on the same spike twice.
No.
Right.
You never do. So that's one thing.
That's
I
why
give you.
failure is your biggest
That's
teacher.
what I told. Didn't I tell you that the other day? Look what you
Failure
crying
is the
for.
biggest teacher.
Every real nigga fail
The
at
L
something.
and put on next
That's how you.
make it up.
There you go.
L.
2 L's make one big, a big W. Yes.
Losers make winners.
There you. That. Come on.
But the quitters quit.
There you go.
Winners quit, but winners win.
So if you take an L and win,
Years to get this
you never
far.
take an L.
Right.
But if you take an L and
You
quit,
gon' win.
If you win without the L, what are you doing?
if you won without the L, you never won.
Control.
So
You
take
can
it.
control.
But when you take an L, I'll be over here.
I did
With
take
my
it.
win.
With the L and the W.
I love it.
And the L and the W and the L and the WWE. We out
So
here.
Lori,
see Lori so
DG
cute. She went-
production company, I'm gonna need some help.
Yes, Miss Ross. Yes, Miss Ross. Yes.
I'm gonna need some help.
Hallelujah. You better call on him.
Now I ain't shy and I ain't ashamed.
No, sir.
And I can even hum a
Mm.
couple of notes or two.
You better get with it.
Go
She
ahead,
said, I ain't no singer, but I can hum a note. She said, I can't sing, but I can hum a note.
Fool, man.
Or two.
Or two.
Or two.
Or
Let's
two.
go.
Beautiful thing about
That nigga bring-
Gingy is that it allows people
To
Have
come
a
through.
voice.
Yes.
experience
Yes.
That's my their
and
production
create
company.
dream and hope one stage at a time.
The
Yeah.
process.
That's
So
our
starting
mission statement,
with
Auntie Lori.
prompting.
Name me a family without dysfunction, and I'ma show
show
you
you
a
a
liar.
liar.
Exactly.
Somebody start this
That was the
foundation.
motto for the bluest.
We in
There you
Hey,
go.
wait.
If you got this action or
Are
you're
we
not
in the
lying.
building or are we in the building?
That was when she provided
Thank
verbal
you.
abuse to her actors at the end
I
of
don't
each
know how I got
rehearsal.
Lord.
That
I
was
ended up
her
here.
wording to
I
you know,
don't know how
her
that
verbal
goes.
abuse that we
She was the
suffered.
female Spike
in the
Lee.
building.
Female Spike Lee?
Absolutely. That's why it was so interesting when we did the
That
virtual
nigga was at
shoot
his damn
last
liquor
week,
store.
the week before
How you
last, for
get
her
here?
to take direction. Cause she's usually up in
It's
the
very good.
Y'all going?
What are you doing?
But you had your
Nigga
part.
right
Me and
there.
Jackie was up there looking
Real
like
deal.
Lucille and Ethel. Didn't we look like Ethel and Lucille? Didn't you? I looked at that picture. Really?
We gotta give a shout out to Shantae, y'all.
Yeah.
Shantae Thomas.
August the 3rd.
August 3rd.
South LA's Health and Family Fitness, Wellness and Fitness.
Yes.
Bike tour.
2,000
Health is what?
Screenings.
Dental
Dental
screenings.
There's gonna be
It's gonna be
dental
going on.
screenings, there's going to be cancer.
What was your
I need to come.
part?
I'm
You don't
not
take care of
saying.
your teeth and your feet, you're losing.
My feet are taken care of.
Nico said you're done.
If you don't take care of your teeth and your feet,
So which one first, Nico?
Who wants to smile in
Teeth
your
or
face?
feet?
See,
Teeth.
my-
I-
see how I
First.
live, I can
First.
still my teeth. I gotta take care of it.
That's
I
what I
don't
see.
eat a meal, but I can.
Nico, that's what I see.
Grammy was 80.
If I make it to your feet.
They kept saying they're your teeth. Facial kept saying,
So,
nah,
Lori.
these are my teeth.
Lori,
That was hers?
My grandma took care of her teeth. She really
Oh
like
my God.
baking her
Do
children.
you know what I did to Granny?
We asking you
My granny
questions.
lost her
Yeah.
teeth.
so
I
Lori, I want you
chopped her down.
to
You ain't got no teeth.
sum this beautiful piece of work up here that you call
She
sister.
can't understand. She was a good
Sum her up in
talking to me like that.
a word.
One, give her 3.
Give us a word.
I have one word.
What's that, Auntie Lori?
That word is courageous.
Yeah.
She just do things.
Crazy, one of the two.
You say courageous.
Courage is crazy.
What do I say?
That's
I say.
Exotic. Exuberant.
I say buoyant.
Miko says
Flamboyant?
buoyant. No, buoyant.
Buoyant.
Miko says buoyant. Auntie
Buoyant.
Lori says courageous. I say.
To
I don't give a fuckery.
I say fighter.
walk this path.
Yeah.
Fighter.
Where you at with it?
I call you warrior.
I
My
don't know what they
warrior, my
talking about.
fighter.
I hear the
period.
words.
I
the words.
hear Sagittarius.
You're right.
What did
Put a-
I say?
Put a word on it. Put one
Fire.
word on it.
Hold your
Value.
Value?
I
Oh,
don't-
wow.
I don't know.
That's
How
what
she
said.
made.
He said value.
You gotta understand.
There
your
she
value.
is.
Yeah, they don't hear it from that point of view.
I just don't know how I want
Power.
Stop. Okay.
I'm gonna go with power.
You hear me? And you
What
bred
you want me to do?
some real
What you want me
ones.
to do? What you want me to lay down?
I'll tell you that
You
much.
wouldn't
Yeah, I don't like
understand.
that. I don't take it.
We're
Power.
stronger than your average.
I didn't want
And
to do
everybody
it.
who
I
comes
had
across
to.
us know that.
You know what I
I
mean?
still talking to
Get
Yemi
the
about
vibe.
it.
I didn't know one, but I had to be right.
Me and Yemi
I-
were
In
just
one word, what would you?
Me and Yemi were just talking about this. I was
What
like,
comes
we're
to mind?
different.
I
I
can't
was
say
like,
one
we
word.
Okay.
Please, that's
Say as
unfair.
many as you want.
I have to
Don't
say
try me.
amazing.
Because other
If
people
you wanted
try
me
people.
to have one word, it would be
They're
amazing.
like,
But I also feel like I have to piggyback just a little bit on Lori with the courageous because it is amazing that this woman can be a wife, a mother,
A
a
queen,
sister,
So many
a
things.
sister-in-law, a daughter,
auntie.
daughter.
an auntie, and still
great aunt.
evolve in who she's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Herself.
That's
I,
expected.
I'm not what you call me. I'm not the title that everybody in this room gives me,
Nope.
except amazing.
Yeah. Amazing, Auntie Shelly.
And you know what
Go
makes
ahead.
it more so?
That
though?
doesn't that doesn't
she
tie
don't
into
gas
mother, daughter,
She
sister,
gas
all
me
that.
all the time.
I'm just
I went back the house
amazing.
like,
And then you do
she
it
made me feel so gassed.
in such an amazing way.
Like, yes.
In
There
in
it is.
even
She be having
Through-
love it. It's 1,000.
your brand, or let's say our brand
Yeah.
of crazy.
How about that?
We you know what I'm saying? You persevere.
Kind of like how you had to call out that demon. It's like a
Man.
demon gonna call out that demon in a
I
person,
wanna
but the
speak
good
for
spirit.
myself.
Gonna,
Come on.
okay,
come
baby.
on.
Whoa, our spirit.
Oh, Jay Jones.
Uh oh, Mr. Jones. Somebody get Mr. Jones on the mic.
I just want to say, it's as expected.
Not
So you
expecting
gotta
that.
let it soak in.
Okay.
And it's expected from a man.
What's expected from a man?
Wow.
That amazing.
Amazing.
But
That
it
word. That
It's
word.
only it's only a king that's gonna accept it.
Exactly.
It's
That is
everything
true.
else,
Very true.
you know, either he gonna learn or he gonna burn.
They grow or go, right, baby?
There you
I
go,
didn't even know
gang.
that one.
Grow or go. I never
But
used that one,
you
but
He
said
gonna
it.
learn, he gonna
You
burn.
can,
said
you can
And I know
grow
at the
or
end of the
go,
day,
or you can learn, or you can
Amazing.
burn.
Exactly.
Or you can learn.
All
or you
of
can
those
burn.
titles are great, but when you can give someone the word amazing, It's not tied to all the things I have to do for everybody else. It's tied to me.
All right,
What
I'm
about
out.
me? And I think that is so amazing because a lot of times as women we lose that. And for once, she's given that to herself. There's nothing else tied to it. It's just amazing.
And you know what, I agree, and I'm listening, I agree to all of those sentiments. But I think also too, is that first, as women, we have to give ourselves permission to normalize what we're feeling.
Yes.
Because a lot of it it's not.
No, it's not.
What happens is we isolate.
Emmett said he
And
begs to
protect.
differ. Emmett begs to differ.
Come on, Ed. Come on, Oz. Come on, Oz.
What is that?
What is that? Yeah. Vapors.
It's not, no, I'm talking about that smoke. I mean, it's the opportunity to say that what I'm feeling, other women are feeling. But we don't openly share. I mean, it's like, yeah, I drive everywhere on the freeway, but it doesn't mean I drive without anxiety.
Right.
It doesn't
But
mean
it doesn't debilitate you.
Right, you know what? Only because I have coping mechanisms to figure out how to do that. And I think if you look at your journey, it doesn't get you as difficult as it has in the past. Because you're learning those coping mechanisms,
But
you know?
I have to interject.
Where's the trash?
The intensity of the physical manifestation
Yeah,
are actually more intense now
it's real.
than before.
You know
And
why?
perhaps because they happen few and far between.
Yes.
You know why that
Why?
is? It's because you've accepted in your mind it for what it is. Do you understand where I'm going with this? It's because you know in your mind this is anxiety. You know in your mind these things that I'm feeling, you know, it's not right. It's gonna pass. But the body, see the body is a cold piece of work. You know what I'm saying? Your body can change your thought process.
Yeah.
When your mind say, nah, devil, I'm not gonna let you ride today, the body is saying, no, I'll show you.
Yes, it does.
Right?
That's how you know you fucked. When the body turn on your
Right?
ass and you think this got it, and your body's like, bitch, please.
Yes,
Where you
but
think
that's
you
the
going?
only reason why it seems to be more pronounced. The physical manifestations of it.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Mind.
Hey.
Right? So, but yeah, I get it. And you're right, Lori, when we can accept, when we can speak it, you know what I'm saying? We take the power. That's what I tell them. We take the power out of it. You know what I mean? Recognize it. Yeah. You recognize it.
Because you can't fix something that you don't acknowledge is going on.
Right.
You don't understand.
I heard that.
Yeah.
The best part about it is,
That was last
is
night.
I
Tell
can
me
talk
again,
about it
please.
outside of just my sister.
Mhm.
Because see, before I would only speak, talk about the mental
Because
health
of
issues
this
with Lori.
stigmatism.
But now it's like, I know there are people that need the help. And I've seen some really bad days, but I haven't seen days that have been bad as other people. You see what I'm saying? I haven't worked a
good with
whole
the
lot
bad.
in the mental health, but I know a lot of the mental health patients were in homeless situations and prison situations that I did work in directly.
And those are no places for people that suffer from those types of
Right.
things.
And so it's just like, I just want people to know that it is real and that anxiety and depression and paranoia and trying to find medication. And that's what I really want us to, we will focus on July 6th, ladies and gentlemen, for our
Yeah.
mental health show. Is the struggle for medication balance. And then, future shows we'll talk about is alternative to synthetic medications. And I'm definitely gonna be doing series with regard to cannabis.
Yeah.
Cannabis projects. So speaking of which, I'm gonna do a piece right now, because it's telling me to do it. Transitions, because what we constantly doing, guys, we're transitioning. And that's DJ Quick in the background, ladies and gentlemen, that's,
Which song?
We'll be giving a shout out too.
yeah. If it don't make, you know what he,
If it don't make dollars,
it don't
don't
make
make
sense.
If it don't make dollars,
We're
it
going
don't
there?
make
it don't
sense.
make sense.
Let the pimp
Don't
Here.
commence.
Yeah, let the
That
people
is-
commit.
My pimp can't
But
start
I
off.
wanna give a shout out
Let the pimp
to
come.
Laneway Records,
Yes.
DJ Quick,
Hey.
Shout out to Tony
that
Lanes.
whole crew.
Nico, Tony
Because
Lane,
those brothers
Tony.
grew up with us, little kids, you know that. took a system
BB.
that was designed
Don't
to
make
put
sense
us
time.
in prison and keep us in that cycle of dysfunction. And these dudes took what was meant to hurt us and flipped that stuff around for their own good and just did that. And I quick is so important to me because he comes right from where we come from. Dickinson Elementary School. Davis Junior High School. Quick didn't make it. He just decided to do some alternative things, but still, his talent still precedes him in my rap. You know, I still have some great rap. We know this cat. You know what I'm saying? We grew up with them. But anyway, I just wanted I heard that little part that song was on. But when it comes to the mental health series,
That's why it's so sad.
I think the biggest thing is, I know for me, has always been a struggle for medication balance. And then again, like I said, maybe we can also take a look at the cannabis products and how CBD truly revolutionized my life. TCBD and THC. Because I don't, in my spirit, and you know that's when I really reached out to you gutter level. In September.
They went across the street. Don't trust niggas.
When I thought I could stop something.
Yeah.
In my mind. Raquel said my mind's telling me no.
No.
But your body,
No.
it was telling you.
Yes. Yeah, I
I don't hurt
You
nobody.
ain't trying to hurt
I
nobody.
don't want to
though.
hurt nobody.
You ain't trying to hurt nobody.
He was hurting everybody.
I respect
But there's something
no,
that
So
I
you held kills now. So do you kill kills?
I know.
Is
You
against
know what
law?
I do. You know what me and Auntie Shelly do in the morning. You know we be bumping the Kales low key.
So fuck it.
Mom.
So y'all,
Auntie Shelly, Auntie Shelly.
Hey, down. I'm down. Fuck that
That's
shit.
something you keep to yourself.
Nope.
You go to the verge
Nope.
with that.
I'm
You
down
know
with
that's
that.
what you're
I'm down
Nico,
with
you
that.
don't listen to Hotel like that anymore.
Like
No.
Cause
I
my
didn't know
thing
nothing.
Not public.
Lies.
like, y'all gotta do this.
Nope. I keep forgiving.
I
I keep forgiving
I
them.
don't see nothing
I don't
wrong.
even listen
I got a
to
big heart,
ignition in
Gail.
public. I leave
And
the
I
room because it's hard.
Lies.
I don't do any R. Kelly public.
World's greatest.
I'm with
What I
you.
do on my own business
I
is
said
My
that.
own business.
It's my own
I
business.
understand the youth and youth R. Kelly. I understand that.
You said what I do on my own business.
Hit like a pimp.
You don't see nothing wrong. I said I understand the youth and youth and R. Kelly.
Look what you keep.
But I don't see nothing wrong. What they got to do with this?
I'm not gonna, if it come on the radio, I'm not gonna
That
turn
nigga
them
is
off.
slick as ice.
But I'm not gonna just go stick the
What
one
is
in
your
the
job
CD.
got to do with what you do at home?
That's how
I'm
we
just
do.
saying.
Straight, no
Yeah.
chasing.
All right, we gonna let the babies say what they have to say about mama.
What's the question?
Put that back.
Now we want you guys to give us some words about your
MJ,
mom.
you up to the mic. Come up
Want
here.
some words or one word?
JackieRay calls you, man. Come on up here, man.
Wow.
I think Jay has some juice.
My goodness. My name is Nico and Leah Phillips.
Go.
I am Jacqueline
Aaliyah.
Phillips'
Beautiful middle name.
second daughter.
I am Jontel the Great, Jacqueline's
Hey.
firstborn daughter.
These are
Hello.
Jacqueline Ray daughters. These are Jacqueline Ray daughters.
Are we spitting facts or straight facts?
You get a name like Todd. Let me. Can I enlighten this?
There you go. Come on, Queen.
Uh-oh, Todd.
My
Todd.
I'm gonna stand, sweetie.
In fact, a couple minutes ago, I had to share a tweet with my followers.
Thank you.
The
Such
exact
a
I never called the Twitter Ray, but
I literally wrote this. I put, I have the most dramatic mother on the planet.
Wow.
She is so dang sweet. A beautiful soul, truly.
I'll put that.
I would say, and it's funny, like birth order and things like that, I've seen a different side of my mom. She a writer, she a real one, she a fighter, and she's a protector, and she's a sacrifice. She sacrifices.
I will say that I do see it now. Being the second, it's like you don't get to see things as much, and they don't tell you things, but it's fine because with the mind I have and the inquiry I have, I like to figure things out for myself.
Yeah.
So I have, understood that my mom is a true writer for sure. Holds it down. I would not be where I am without her. If I
Yeah.
feel like I'm like just not gonna make it
Threatening
through my
anybody
day,
got you fucked
I
up. If
can call
anybody
my
on the other
mother.
way,
She gonna
call
put me.
Jackie.
She gonna put me. If I'm at a level 0, she put me back to 1,000 in a matter of
She
10 minutes.
literally.
I walk out of her room like,
Yeah.
yeah, I am that bitch.
Anybody
can
I'm feeling so down, and it's like, do you know who you are? I'm like, who? What the?
Who am I?
Right, mom. Do they don't know who I am, but I know who I am.
There's people out there that will pay for that.
Right.
You're my best friend.
I got it for
I
free.
brought all my shit to
From
the table.
her
Like,
heart,
you cuss with your
she
mom,
wants
out
you
your
to
mom.
attack life.
Our
know if
relationship
that's
is so
good or not.
unconventional. I don't get. It's like y'all don't get it though.
Nah, I feel like the relationship my sister and my mother have is something that's very unique. I cannot say that I've ever seen or experienced anything such as this. But what I will,
Describe it.
it's very, I'll use the word contentious.
Quintessential.
No, not even quintessential, contentious.
Okay.
big brain on Mika.
Okay.
Contentious is a,
Push through. SAT. ACT.
Miss Rika.
It's real.
Miss
It's
Rika.
real. You don't
something
hide
that's
shit from your kids.
contentious
It's
is
real.
something
I
that's
don't
like,
Funky.
no,
Not
not even.
contentious.
It's something that you
it's
guys.
content. It's unbreakable. It's,
No, it's a word that I'm gonna just use the word brawl. At the end of the day, it's a brawl because these are two separate. Well, it's two separate personalities
But that
can
is so
end
much the
up
same.
that can end up working very well together.
Right.
They are uniquely a very similar person.
We're the same.
And very, 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 very the same. They do a lot of the same things, but in a way they could brawl and come right back together. And that's how you know it's love.
Jack
You
and
will
my-
not take time to brawl with somebody that you don't love, who you don't see value in,
Right.
who you don't see who's gonna pick you up when you're down.
Right.
And I've never seen it where a mother can rely so much on a daughter and a daughter can handle that. Because at the end of the day, we're so used to children not knowing.
Yeah.
But when the child knows and the child is astute enough to
I got your
understand
back.
and
Don't feel
pick
bad
up the
about
mother,
nothing.
that's a whole
God
nother
gave it to me because I
ballgame.
can handle it. You
So,
know I got your back.
At the end of the day, I know when I call both of them, I'm gonna be put back on 1,000
That's
because they've done so much for each other. When I'm
Yeah.
involved, it's a whole nother situation. But I do understand, and I know they have their own relationship and their own love.
Mm-hmm.
And I
You're
have
part
a
of that
relationship-
love too.
Right, but I have a relationship with both of you that are
Yeah.
very different, and I understand that. And for me, just to see that love fall out and fall in, and see it grow, and see where it came from,
Mm-hmm.
to see the entire trend, to be honest with you, is truly amazing and truly beautiful. I feel as though I have two very strong women in my corner within my own household who share my name. And it makes me feel very grateful because I feel like I pulled so much energy from both of you to become a person where I see your strengths, I know your weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
I can take on your strengths, I can do what I can to avoid your weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you don't bring out my
And it has
weaknesses,
built
though.
it has built
Yeah.
me into a person where I feel very happy and grateful to know I got two strong queens in my household
Mm-hmm.
who I can call and who's in my Rolodex at any moment.
Yeah.
So it's truly a great blessing, nonetheless. However, I am here for all tea. I hear all tea, it all runs through me, and at the end of the day, I bring logic to these two beautiful souls who are extremely dramatic and very impulsive. So I'm just like, whoa, nobody said that, chill out. But I bring
But it's like, that's what I heard, because I hear your spirit.
She not talking.
This
I
one-
know.
She's
You
not
be begging in the bathroom.
Miko,
I
period.
know you.
I who babe, but does it show?
Yes.
That's-
Miko.
I think at the end of the day, Chantel is my mirror image in terms of a child, in terms of your offspring, your seed. And Miko Aliyah
She like my
is
dad.
William Moss Phillips.
Get ready.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting dichotomy there.
Because we're both air signs.
JackieRay, is that
Yeah.
cold?
And
She's that cold?
Miko's a cold piece.
Miko, I
Look, she's spitting.
Miko
Put more
raised
pressure
her
on
in a whole
herself.
nother way, but I'm just gonna say this, and I think because he felt the Chantel, I don't think I know, but I'm gonna just read this, everybody. And this is my life today too. This is to everybody who has ever tuned into the Poetry of Justice show. This is to Lori Ginger Ray, this is to Shelley Carter, Tanya Michelle, William Phillips,
Shout out, Dad.
William Ma Phillips Jr., Emmett McGee.
My guy, M got the dress flowing, popping.
I looked at a photograph of Emmett and I
2 years ago, May.
Charles Jr., fresh out.
And I was making a video that we sent out, and I was like, wow. Did you see that picture?
I did see that.
Did you see how long? Look at your hair now, where it was then. Look how you were standing there with us, and look at you now.
That's the difference.
Got your own shit, grown, you shit.
hair.
You on Kevin's heels, shit. Kevin better look out.
Ooh, not like his heels.
Look, don't look over here.
No, I'm just saying because you always want to strive for your boss to get that. That's how I want, because I had in my first career was at the University of Southern California. And you was told that you need to build and in my opinion, Kevin Nash is one of the best to ever do it. And I know you shared with me that when you were back east getting your education, that Kevin Nash was your mentor.
I'm gonna put you on glass.
So to be able to see a young man, you a king man. I think you were a young man when I met you. I quantify you as a king. And to watch you have grown is life, is fire. So I'm just gonna say this is to everyone who has taken the time to partake in the poetry of justice, self-support in any way, shape, form, fashion, and if you haven't, and if you will in the future. But these are acknowledgments, and I want to give honor and glory and praise and worship to the Almighty God, the holy creator of the universe, heaven and the earth. I thank you, Father, for your Son, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I thank you for this gift, the gift to write. I thank you for the courage to look inside myself and be honest and authentic with the truth of the words which you filtered through me. I thank you, Father God, for choosing me as a vessel. I pray that this book will touch many hearts and souls and transform lives as you graciously did for me. I thank you for the favor. I thank you for the mercy. I thank you for your love. All hail to King Jesus. I give special thanks to my husband, the ruler of my life on this earth, good or bad, happy or sad. William Osborne, Jr. His love and insight and support of me in the poet's ranks. William has influenced me in a multitude of ways with regard to the rationale and hardcore realities of several of the pieces in my book. Thank you to my firstborn daughter, Chantel Dominique Ray Phillips, my sunshine. Chantel has been my biggest cheerleader throughout every aspect of her and our lives together. No matter the circumstances, she always has my back. We truly ride or die. I have enjoyed watching you grow into a strong, intelligent, educated, beautiful woman of God with a heart of gold and as deep as the ocean is blue. I appreciate you. Thank you to my greatest gift, my baby girl, Miko Ali. My sweet joy. You see, because Miko, I appreciate your direct, straight to the point view of me and all of my work. Miko has been my #1 fan of all of our endeavors together. It has been pure joy watching you grow into a beautiful, independent, strong, educated, head-driven, young lady with a heart of platinum. Both of my daughters are destined for success. And I love them both with all my heart. And I'm going to just throw this out here. When this was written, my firstborn on this planet was in a very horrible situation. And I didn't look at the situation we were in at that time when this was written. I looked at God. And I knew what God would do for me. And I knew what he was going to do for my baby. Because see, the devil ain't no joke, people. I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. Satan is real. And he just looks for us to be weak. And he's going to come. He's going to come. And he's going to attack. But we have to withstand those attacks and those times. And we have to continue to look on the inside and know that God is an awesome God and that He reigns from the heavens above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. And the devil has attacked me for my mental health, physical health, my marriage, probably the biggest attack of my life, I would say, was my marriage. Satan did to me. My mental health, my physical health. Then he started attacking my babies. When he started attacking my babies, y'all, that was a whole new beast of prayer requirement that I had ever known in my entire existence on the planet. It's one thing to know that Satan has sent his cronies to kill you. I could accept that after a while, the blows and the shit doesn't happen. Okay, I can accept the fact that you're coming for me.
We ready.
Coming from a baby? A baby? You know, that was a whole nother, that was literally a beast. So those words is written out of love. Those words is written out of faith. Mustard seed faith. And but the best part about it is, those words hold true right now. And these are the most important things to me in this world next to the Poetry of Justice Show, which was born August 6, 2016, in a little office, cubby room in Lakewood, KLIQ. I couldn't wait to tell you about that joint.
Oh, she was another Miss Scammer. She was so
They scared me. But you know,
annoying.
I wouldn't give up. I couldn't give up. And then she started clowning me and was giving me a hard time. The chick that was running the shit. Anyway, they told me I had to be my own engineer. This is what this female told me. This chick told me, you gonna have to learn how to engineer your own show. I was like, bitch, you don't fucking know me. You better watch. Anywho, I was done with her. She sent me a little slick at the mouth message.
I didn't like her.
She didn't.
What did she tell me? When she
That bitch told you she didn't like you because you look like me. That same, that shit.
Basically, that's basically what she said.
That Davis shit. I just can't stand you.
She was like,
too much like your
just
mom.
some shit. You know how the bitches get on me because some stupid shit. You don't even know me, bitch.
But Emmett,
I am a child.
What? I ain't doing that. I'm cool. You not finna come on because you just remedial. At the end of the day, and I'm not bowing down to be nice to your bitch ass. I'm just not fucking doing it. I'm sorry. So then at the time, Lord, we was doing, what was we doing, Lolo? We was doing a production. And I met G-Dot. G-Dot was performing for us.
I remember G-Dot.
G-Dot Hill. Shout out to G-Dot Hill.
Shout out to G-Dot,
You
man.
might remember him because he had a
Pick up the
show
phone.
on Accelerated. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
G-Dot, pick up the phone.
I know
So
G-Dot.
I was like, yo, G-Dot, where you at? What's your
G-Dot,
spot
pick
like?
up
And
the phone,
G-Dot
nigga.
was like, yo, Jack, this is I said Kevin Nash, and then you automatically do that. Ooh, like Mufasa. Ooh, just read Kevin Nash. Ooh. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna call Kevin Nash, you know, because even me, little kid at Davis in Compton High School, even that was not a radio station, you listen to Kevin Nash, nigga, that was like, oh. So I'm like, I'm gonna call Kevin Nash. Wow. I called Kevin Nash because what Kevin Nash called me back, y'all. I was like,
Yeah,
holy moly.
I
am
tried
on
to
the
call
phone.
a radio station for some money. Never worked.
And it was like
Mine busy.
so frightening because it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough money. I think that's always the case, guys. It's always the money. And it's like, am I gonna have enough money? Am I gonna be able to pay for this?
Actually, that's always the devil.
Right? And I
That's what that
guys,
self
Lori
doubt.
G, Shelly C, Tanya Michelle, we
All my real ones in the back.
And we rolling with YikesRadio.com.
Yikes.
Nah, she didn't do shit.
Okay.
That's what we did. No, y'all really
Radio,
brought
man.
Beelzebub up in here now.
Hey,
We got five.
Radio,
She
man.
must be.
Like radio?
Yikes.
Yikes radio?
Yikes Radio.
Yikes.
But anyway, guys, this has kind of been a trajectory.
Huh?
Yikes radio, man.
Lame or lame?
Tony Lane.
It makes sense to me.
No.
Lame. Black tone. Black tone.
Black tone.
Look,
Tony is the best tone.
That's my boy.
man, we got
That's it.
we got
That's
a
it.
rapper.
All right, he know Black
It's
tone.
a rapper right here. That's you know what I'm saying. Straight out the city.
Jeray worked for Copy Unified too. He
Oh,
in the house.
put it on your, put it on the
Hey,
back.
hey, yo, guys, we got 5 minutes. Hold
All
on,
right, let's
hold on,
start
hold on, hold on, hold on. I
Uh-huh.
mean, and I really need this.
Yeah.
Emmett, I need you.
What's your name?
Focus.
No.
What's up with you?
Jay, you do that.
When we get on the mic,
Please.
it's not a problem.
We talking about 1,000 some odd days.
Oh, and what's your perspective on the big dog?
Back up there,
I
man.
need to know. We started
This
here.
is a
We're
strong
having
man right
together.
Things done
This
changed,
is
man.
remodeled too.
Things is going good. I'm on that KJLA.
Oh my goodness, big dog, congratulations, bro.
For me, and you.
And this, me, you, POJ, talk.
So I grew up in the city, and I got aunties. And when I met you had the same vibe as my aunties, man. You feel like family. You feel like
Day
family,
one.
honestly. And I feel like if my aunties was around, you and my aunties would get along.
Look at this nigga.
Right.
It just felt like family from the jump, and you always want to see somebody from Compton do good. We gotta support each other. We gotta push Compton. It's more than just gangs in Compton. You know what I'm saying? There's some good men in Compton. There's some men of God in Compton. There's a lot of intelligence in Compton. So it's like we have to champion that. We gotta show all the sides of our city. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? We'll bust your head open.
Yeah, I will say for once, let me go. We're outnumbered.
Look, Long Beach been on the
Yeah,
back.
everybody, Long Beach is on my back since '92. I'll never forget it.
Don't
Okay?
play with me. LBC 213.
And LBC, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna cut y'all microphones off.
I'm just saying we did it for you.
Exactly. Tell him everything.
But
No, but really.
But yeah, man, it's been like a family thing, so I just, I'm interested to see where everything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been good though.
But Emmett has been an inspiration
Yeah.
to me, and I want to say that
In what way?
because
What'd you say?
he always makes sure now that I have a male voice.
That's important.
Because there's a lot of female going on, but he always makes sure he's like, and
A male perspective.
all
A
right.
voice you trust.
Yeah.
And so we were able to do that. Lori had her frat brother Thurman Green, who's joined some of
Big
our chat.
Thurm.
And then by the grace of God, I've got Jay, I've got Marcus, I've got 2 strong
You
gentlemen
got
in here that's
Ty,
gonna
you
come
got
up and say
Dre.
hi. Come on, say hi.
Come on,
We
guys.
got
Ty,
about 2
come
minutes,
through, say
guys.
what's up.
POJ Show every
Hey,
Saturday
what's
from
up,
6
Dre?
to 8
Come
o'clock
on.
p.m.
This-
Dice Radio.
Talk about the
Hey.
music.
JackieRay
Talk
Talks.
about the music.
Say whatever. Say about
Compton in the house.
Nothing in the house,
That's what I'm
man.
talking
Period.
But
Boom.
I just want to tell you, I appreciate walking in on this show today. I see a lot of strength, a lot of integrity, determination, and dedication in your work.
Amen.
You gonna come back?
I'm always gonna come back.
Aw,
Amen.
yay.
My God.
Yeah.
Come through, Ty. Brother T.
$5, man.
Brother T.
How you doing? Looking all sweet.
Okay, Ty with the slick. Wait.
Okay, you know how we do.
You know, we do.
You gotta represent, you know what I'm saying?
But honestly, being here, just seeing you though, it's just seeing a strong black woman, seeing the future, and just seeing just great positive things, things that we don't see on a regular basis.
Amen.
And this is honestly beautiful, and I could really see this going a long way,
I appreciate that. You promise you gonna come back? Promise.
Yes.
Because I got that Compton gangster.
Come on, Mom, you don't need a whole name to promises from
I
will be coming for your ass.
We got a show
Look,
for them.
we got one hiding behind the wall over here.
MJ, get on the mic.
Get over here,
MJ, come on, we gotta
Mike,
say we
come on,
closing
MJ.
out. 30 seconds, big dog.
Straight real. Marcus is the nigga, right?
MJ,
I
come
met
on.
Marcus on Thursday. He my day one. All of a sudden, this is my new.
She met him on Thursday and he's her day one all of a
He
sudden.
put it down.
It's
He came
a
to my mama house. He put
That's
the shit down.
right.
Him and Jay is my son-in-law. I'm just claiming it in the name of the Lord.
This one out
Hit him up.
here
He gonna
is
take us
off
out.
the chain.
He
He go. Who is that? What is it?
What are you doing?
He Compton in the house. Got to be stopping, nigga.
Tell it, say it, MJ, get on the mic, nigga.
No.
I can't hear you.
Y'all gonna make this man ignorant.
I know. Let me keep
Y'all,
telling him.
MJ, we gotta get ready to go. Marcus, tell me your name.
Marcus Jones.
Look him up, Marcus Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be back on a regular basis. Period.
Guys, thank you so much, everybody.
God is
Join us
love.
on the Poetry Justice Show. with
Oh,
the
yeah.
JackieRay Show.
On
Yikes, radio.
On Yikes Radio, but not Nene Benitez. Success.
I was like, gang.
All right.
Right.
And she ended it with
Okay,
Compton.
Rich.
Yeah.